We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE, welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what matter and antimatter do to each other. A little bit different tonight, I'm not going to be running this show, I'm actually going to be over on Brother Sanchez's channel being interviewed. Don't really know what questions he's going to ask. Me and Brother Sanchez had a debate a few months ago, and I asked him for a round 2 because I thought it went quite well and we could continue. And he said instead of the debate format, could I just come on, him and other flat earthers ask me a bunch of questions. So I've agreed, so we're going to do that. Like I said, no idea how it's going to go, and I hope you all enjoy it. Join me later on for an actual debate with SOM. And in the next couple of days, there'll be the new episode of Flerfs Are Idiots out for your entertainment. But I'm basically going to hand the show over to Brother Sanchez and see how it goes over on that side. So thank you guys for watching and enjoy the show. Brother Sanchez, I'm ready for you.
All right, mic check. There we go. There we go. Salutes to everybody on both sides. So let me go ahead and let my people know we are live. Salutes to the people on my side. And you guys just heard the introduction from Fight the Flatter. What's your name, by the way? Are you just going by FTFE?
You can call me Craig.
All right, yeah. So salutes to you, Craig. And thank you for the interview style. We can definitely do debates again in the future or whatever. I just wanted to do this because I've been doing a lot of debates and they really don't go to, it's not that I want to win or lose a debate or have anything about winning or losing. I think there is a bigger thing than flat earth and globe earth. I think you have a group of Americans or people in general that have so many questions about science, government, the medical, industry, just different things. Now, you would say that crowd in society would be like the tinfoil hat group, right? The conspiracy theories. And the things that they're saying today will be labeled under fake science. So today, what I wanted to interview with you, Craig, is just to see how much of your paradigm falls under the tinfoil hat sort of section. And then we can go into some more flat, and I'm gonna also deal with some flat earth and globe earth too. We still gonna get into that as well. I just want to get some clarity here and see where we standing at. So can
I just say before we start, thanks for having me on. I do appreciate it. I appreciate you getting back to me in the emails, and I'm used to just normally having debates, and they can be dumpster fires, and a lot of arguing. So this might be a fruitful conversation, and I'm looking forward to it. So hello to everybody on your side, and don't feel afraid to pop over to my chat and say hi if you would like to as well. We'll be as friendly as possible, but I'm free to answer any questions that you like. Thank you for having me on.
That's awesome right there, man. We drop bombs over here. We're gonna drop a bomb for Craig over here. That's our ritual. We drop the bombs. And also, guys, we're looking forward for these two communities networking in a debate style and a sit down style like what we're doing now. So yeah, that's what's up. But let's get right into it. So I guess I'll start with a general question. Are there any agendas within government or science that you think would be some sort of, we can use the word conspiracy. I'm not scared of the word conspiracy. Some sort of conspiracy to control the people or prevent them from being their greater self or whatever? Or
here's the thing.
Do you have any?
I'm never going to say that conspiracies don't exist, because they do. People lie, people want power, people want control. And even within the scientific community, yes, I agree, there can be agendas. I think more so in the past than today. In the past, they had scientists tell you how good it was to smoke, and things like that. And that was more to do with money, which is an agenda. But Yeah, I'm never going to say that conspiracies don't exist. Within science nowadays, I think there's less of that, bowing to money. There's never going to be rid of that completely because, let's face it, research takes money to do. And you have to have investors and stuff. But, if science is followed properly and you use the scientific method, then the only thing that matters is the empirical truth, and you can kind of ignore the conspiracy side of it. That's how I feel.
I think long as there's a probability that a conspiracy exists in any level of government, we can never ignore the conspiracy side. I think there must be a constant endeavor to find the conspiracy that we agree exists that we have not really pinpointed. And I think that's kind of the plight of a lot of quote unquote tinfoil hat communities. The questions I'm asking you, you know what I'm saying, they're neither here nor there concerning flat earth, but we'll segue into that in a minute. Let me ask you something about, for example, do you think Christopher Columbus discovered America?
I think he accidentally found it. That's not to say that if you look through history, there wasn't cultures that had arrived there previously and written about it, because there was. But for the wider world, for the introduction of the Americas to the rest of the world, it was down to the fact that Christopher Columbus accidentally found it. I don't think you're going to find a lot of the time the full story of that in textbooks, for instance. You'll learn that Christopher Columbus was trying to find a quicker route to India, and he went east instead of west and found America, and voila, now we have America. And they will skip over the fact that Spain had actually been there before. Some areas of Africa had been there before, but they'd never really introduced America to the wider world.
Okay. If you are in the chat room and you have questions for Craig, have them on standby for later. I'll be allowing callers to rotate in and out of the call at various times. So, Craig, you don't have any questions for me right now. You just want me to continue?
And I'm just happy to answer questions, bro. That's what you wanted, and okay. I'm here to do as you wanted.
Okay. So another thing that I wanted to ask you, when you said earlier about you do agree that there can be such conspiracies or things, nothing is impossible or something of that nature. Can you kind of go into, in your mind, some things that the people should be worried about? Because I hear a lot of globalists say, hey, man, there are real conspiracies that the people should focus on, but flat earth is a distraction from those real things that we should be focusing on that they're doing to us. You know what I'm saying? Are you one of those kind of?
No, I think there's things that people focus on, the wrong things. Like, for instance, energy generation. There's so much focus on, who's in control of the oil, and the natural gas supplies and stuff. And, there's so much energy and money spent into that side of energy generation. And I think that's stupid. We should be focusing more on advancing renewables and nuclear power, ways that are sustainable beyond the need for fossil fuels. And I think that there's, I don't want to say a cover-up, but there's like a concerted effort to focus on who's in control of the current supply of energy via fossil fuels, rather than focusing on where we can be in the future. But I don't think that for the general public, there's any kind of conspiracies within government, some secret lizard men or anything like that they need to worry about.
Oh, no. True. I don't go with the lizard. Now, I will admit there are some communities out there that kind of make the whole truth community look bad, like the lizard people example. That's
Yeah,
a good
that was
example.
just
But
an extra expansion of I'm not saying that I think you believe in lizard people. I'm just saying that those kind of conspiracies, that there's some higher level in government, some secret level of government that we all don't know about, that's secretly controlling and pulling all the strings. I don't think there's anything like that the general public need to worry about, or is even a thing.
okay, now let's turn up the heat just a little bit. Let's talk about the moon missions. Not only flat earthers question the moon missions. That's nice. That's what's up. But not only the flat earthers question the moon missions, globe earthers do too. I've met
I know.
so many globe earthers. Yeah. Where do you stand on the moon missions?
They happened. I think like anything, there's conspiracies around it because people want there to be. But I've done a lot of research into the moon missions. I've done a lot of research into third-party evidence. I've done a lot of research into the ways that it was recorded and the current technology available. Because at some point there were doubts in my mind. I watched the what was it called? Something Funny Happened on the Way to the Moon. I watched that, and there was things that they said that made me think. So I did do a lot of research into the moon missions way before I became a YouTuber, and I satisfied myself based on my research that I think that they happened. And then when I was in America with the Royal Navy, I had a chance to go to an observatory and use their laser ranging equipment to bounce some lasers off of the retroreflectors left on the moon. Which was, in my mind, extra evidence that it happened. So I think the moon landings happened, and I think there's ample evidence to show that the moon landings happened.
Okay, another question. If we went to the moon once, why can't we go back now? Can you explain that for people who may not understand it from the scientist perspective, who may think they're just giving an excuse?
So, yeah. So here's the thing, right? People think that technology just improves. It doesn't. In fact, technology will go backwards unless there's a concerted effort, a whole bunch of people, focusing on making this technology better. And after the Apollo missions ended, there wasn't the funding for that anymore. There wasn't the people focusing on doing that. Instead, they focused on getting the ISS up there and doing low Earth orbit experiments. So we haven't been back to the moon simply because they haven't focused on doing that. They are now with the Artemis missions. Once they can fix a fuel leak, they are planning on going back, and that's something that we can all look forward to. But the reason we haven't been back in the past 50 years is simply there was no real reason to. There was no money to do it. Going to the moon's an extremely expensive thing, and the technology hadn't got better. But technology on Earth has got better. So we have a lot more technology now that is digital, has smaller transistors and stuff that are a lot more affected by solar radiation. So we've had to find ways to be able to protect not only people much better, but the technology that's going up there. And that's taken time. It's annoying that it's taken so long, but without the concerted effort of a lot of people focusing very hard on making technology improve and doing a job, it's not going to get done. And that was taken away after the end of the Apollo missions.
To my understanding, I'm saying once for example, once technology reaches a point where we have, let's say, a Super Nintendo, if technology never does anything else beyond that, we will still have achieved that Super Nintendo, and I still can go back and play it over and over because of that achievement. So I'm thinking in my mind, if we had the technology that allowed us to successfully make it from the Earth to the moon it doesn't matter to me like what happens after that, because we got the technology now. We know it can be done. We did it, and this is how you
Okay.
do it. If no one, so yeah, go ahead, because
So,
that's why I'm having trouble.
Here's the thing, right? The the rockets, as for the Apollo missions, they weren't reusable. They had to build new ones every time, you know, and that takes a lot of money and effort and factories to do, right? After the Apollo missions, all the tools to build the Apollo technology were repurposed for something else. You know, you couldn't right now just, without creating a way to do it, build a Ford Model T, right? We don't have the factory or the processes to make a Ford Model T. We could. It would take a long time to make the tools to make the Ford Model T, right? We didn't have the tools to keep making the Apollo program anymore because they were repurposed for something else because they were told they weren't going to the moon anymore. So that's what they mean by we lost the technology. They lost the ability to make it because, you know, it wasn't reusable, and they then repurposed all the factory and technology they had to do other things. So now with the Artemis missions, you know, they've got new factories and stuff that are building the Artemis rockets. So that's why, you know, just to say, well, we had the technology, why couldn't we keep using it? It wasn't reusable. Also, there's the fact that it was awful. It was horrible. It was dangerous. There was so much that could go wrong. It wasn't some super advanced like sci-fi ship. It was a small box with, you know, a bunch of people in with manual valves to control pressure and stuff. You know, it was dangerous, you know, cramped, horrible technology that you wouldn't want to keep using. They want to make it better.
I understand, but if you think about the Model T example, the safety on that thing sucked. I mean, if you were to get into it, you know, you were going to get seriously injured. But cars evolved to a point where we got side airbags.
Absolutely, they did, yeah.
But see, they didn't stop the manufacturing process as cars evolved. They stopped
the manufacturing process for rockets, though. That's the thing. Cars, the technology for that needed to improve because life on Earth was needing that, you know, ability to get around more. So the manufacturing process for cars, you know, became more widespread. There became more and more ways to do it. There became new technologies. More and more companies got invested in it. You know, and so much of a lot of countries' GDP was based on exporting cars in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. But that need for the cars, that didn't transfer over to the rockets. There wasn't a need for more cars. There wasn't a bunch of new companies making new rockets and stuff, right? You know, like there was with cars. So the cars advanced because there were so many people focusing on making cars better. But there was no one focusing on building new rockets to go to the moon. So there was no way that technology could get better.
Now, can you give us your best explanations on why something's, I mean, there were people in tears when we had the blue marble image. Can you kind of explain to all the children who remember those moon missions, who said, you know, I want to go to the moon when I grow up. I want to be an astronaut, but we just haven't, those are dream, that's just not going to happen, you know. I believe just from that standpoint alone, that the next generation of Americans wouldn't mind, you know what I'm saying, invest. I mean, NASA is getting something like $70 million a day in tax money. We have the funding from the people alone to continue those moon missions, especially when we're saying life on Earth is going to be impossible in a few years. We need to start harvesting other planets like Mars. The moon would be easier, if you ask me, because we already been there before. I don't understand if it's so hard to go back to the moon, and we went to the moon during a time when we had a rotary phone. And now we're talking about going to Mars. We need to crawl before we walk. We shouldn't be talking about going to Mars.
I mean, it's different companies, isn't it?
It's true about.
it's NASA talking about the moon, and it's SpaceX and Elon Musk talking about Mars. But they're different things, and there's different reasons for doing those things. The space back in when we were doing the moon missions, there wasn't private space companies. That wasn't a thing that existed. All of the space technology came from the government programs, whereas now there's the private innovation and stuff. And you say that NASA gets 70 million a day, but about 65 million a day of that goes to paying contractors like SpaceX and Blue Origin. Because they're the ones making the real innovations, and SpaceX will be basically building the moon base before NASA send their astronauts there to do what they've got to do. Things like that.
I'm confused about that. I'm confused how we can build bases on the moon, but we can't go back to it.
Well, robots and people are different. We can send something up to that's programmed to do a job, and it's going to be much easier to do that than it is to send a person. Much easier.
One question. I got the video on my channel. It has over 1 million views on it. It's a clip from the director of NASA. He explains the reason why we can't go past the moon, because we just don't have the technology at our time right now to make it through the Van Allen belts. That's the reason why. So if we can't make it through the Van Allen belts because we don't have a rocket or we don't have the propulsion systems at this time to make it through the Van Allen belts, it wouldn't matter if you send in a robot or not, because you still got to send him in a rocket that can't make it through the Van Allen belts.
Van Allen belts aren't really an issue. The only thing about the Van Allen belts as a problem is prolonged exposure. I mean, the majority of the radiation within the Van Allen belts is charged particles that are basically captured solar wind with bits of alpha radiation in. And the majority of the radiation that comes in the Van Allen radiation belts can be deflected and blocked with a bit of paper, right? But there is an issue because, like I said earlier, the newer technology has components like smaller transistors and stuff that are more susceptible to that radiation. So we've had to find a way to be in the Van Allen belts whilst protecting that newer technology, which has taken a while to perfect. But people, it's not really a dangerous thing for. You can, and also there's the fact that we know where the stronger and smaller areas are, and we can basically avoid them when we're sending people to the moon.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, I got to give you credit, and I'm not being funny, but you should really work for NASA. You may have solved a lot of their problems, because I can play the video right now of the director of NASA. He sounds quite defeated. He sounds like, I mean,
that's a very old video, right?
I'm gonna play it, huh?
It's a very old video, right? I mean, technology's advanced since then.
And what I'm saying is, NASA haven't came back. The director haven't say, "Hey guys, here's an update since the last video."
I mean, the Artemis missions, they are an update.
One thing. So the part that I'm waiting for them to update is the part where they said we have achieved strides in penetrating the Van Allen belts, and we can now make it through those belts. So moon mission, moon missions, Mars missions, all of that is very possible now, and we're entering a time where that stuff is very now possible, because our technologies has now got us past a hump that we once had, that we told you guys about earlier, which was the Van Allen belts, and here's where we are.
But the fact that we've got the Artemis missions, where shows that they've developed past that worry, right? No one thinks that the Van Allen belts are an issue because we've figured that out. There's a whole since that video, and it's not even the director of NASA; it's just someone that works for them. Since that video was released, decade or more ago, there's been a whole new development of an entire new program of technology.
I got you. I know that. But my thing is, in 2022, right now, why can't we go to the moon? Let's say right now. Can you give me the current reasons what's holding us back right now?
Because the Artemis mission hasn't been tested yet. They're doing that right now. As I explained earlier, the reason we can't go right now is because nobody developed the technology to do that. Once the Apollo missions were done, that was it. We don't have that anymore. And then there was no interest in going back to the moon. The Russians were doing the space station, so that's what the Americans did. You know, no one cared about going back to the moon. There was nothing, in the last 50 years that we could have gained from going back to the moon. But now there is. Now we have more technology. It's based on technology versus money available. Now there is more technology since there's been innovation from private industries and stuff. Now we've got better technology. Now it's a better time to invest that money and go back to the moon, which is what is happening right now. I think that flat earthers and moon landing deniers in general are ignoring the fact that the Artemis missions exist. You know, yes, they're having issues with refueling or whatever, but there's an entire program of technology that has been developed since that video that you showed, or that you want to show, that has, been designed to take people and technology to the moon.
I know that the Artemis missions exist. I know I covered that. The thing is, I'm asking a very simple question. We know the Artemis mission is about them sending technology in orbit to orbit the moon, if I'm not mistaken. But
there's a few stages of the Artemis missions.
I know that the ultimate goal of the Artemis mission is to send man back to the moon.
Yeah. So what was supposed to launch the other day and didn't due to the fuel leaks is Artemis 1. So that's testing the technology that they've built, right, without putting people in. They're going to send it up, it's going to orbit the moon, and it's going to come back. And then in 2023, 2024, they're aiming to do the same, the orbiting, but with people. And then that will be Artemis 2. And then Artemis 3 will be when they land people on the moon. You know, it's stages. It's dangerous. It's hard. They've got to test these things. And this is when it's being done.
You know, if you look at those old footage of the astronauts walking on the moon, the old footage, it just don't look as dangerous. It kind of looks fun as a child. You get the little moonwalk, and I know looks can be deceiving, right?
Yeah.
In the footage, those guys, they're very calm. They're like we,
Well, you don't know what they look like inside, do you? But on the moon, the gravitational acceleration is like 1.6 meters per second squared, right? So instead of it falling like this, right, when something's let go of, it falls like this. That's the speed of acceleration on the moon. Right, and that sounds fun, and technically, as humans, we could jump high and not hurt ourselves when we land, but we've also got to take into the fact that there is practically zero atmosphere there, and you will die without the suit and stuff. So it may look fun, but that is one of the most dangerous places that a human has ever, the most dangerous place that a human has ever stepped.
No, what I was saying was, but what you're saying, if it's true, I was just giving those astronauts credit because they were laughing in the face of the most ultimate danger. It was just very like play for them, So I
and they tried to have fun, obviously. But I mean, if you were, sorry, I apologize. I was saying if you were sent somewhere that no one else had been in the world, you'd want to try and have a bit of fun and enjoy it, despite the fact that it's a dangerous place to be, right?
Like if I'm in the bottom of the Marianas Trench, I'm gonna twerk a little bit while I'm down there.
I'm gonna write my name in the seabed, right? I'm gonna do something that is fun. I'm gonna try and hit a golf ball at the bottom of the Mariana Trench and see what happens. It's interesting that there's been more people to the moon than the Mariana Trench.
I don't really want to be Joe. I'm gonna be very serious. But y'all jokes aside. But this is I want to say salutes to you, Craig. This is a good bill. You could say whatever you want about the moon mission. To all the moon mission deniers right now, what would you tell them before I kind of skip to the next question in the chat room?
When you're looking for evidence of the moon missions, NASA's the worst place to go because you already don't trust NASA. All right, that's the thing. All right, people that think the moon landing didn't happen, you don't trust NASA. So don't go to NASA. Go to third-party places. There was hundreds of thousands of ham radio operators that tracked where the signals were coming from. There was independent astronomy stations all around the world, independently outside of NASA, tracking the data and tracking the position of the rocket and everything. So if you don't trust NASA, don't go to NASA. Look for sources outside of NASA that can confirm what NASA have said. That's what I did, and that's what convinced me that what NASA was saying is true, because it matched with what everybody else was saying, whether they were NASA or not.
Okay, so what do you say to the people that would say, well, that is consensus and not science, because if everyone said it, then it must be true?
Well, it's not about consensus, but it's about the evidence that each of these places have. Evidence from independent ham radio operators, evidence from independent astronomers, evidence from independent stations and stuff around the world. It's not about consensus, it's about the evidence that they can present.
Let me ask you a quick question before we go into the next part.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are our eyes made up mainly of water? Because science taught me that ever since I was a child, and I want to make sure we at least agree on something science taught us. Is our eyes mostly water?
Yeah.
Okay, that's just a good, let's drop a bomb. Let's drop a bomb. Science didn't lie about that. So
there's other stuff in there, obviously. There's a lot of protein that causes light to refract in a certain way. But every part of our body is mostly water.
And that leads to the next question. I see a lot of videos on the ISS where water behaves like this in space. And I said to myself, now tell me if you think this is a dumb question, Craig. Don't say it's dumb just because you don't like flat earthers. Keep it real. Is this a dumb question? How can people have eyes in the ISS? I mean, when your eyes sort of kind of bleed out, like, is it at the point of a like?
Well,
like
the ISS
water,
is a pressurized container, very much like an airplane or a submarine. It's pressurized inside, and your eyes are also a pressurized container. There's no reason your eyes would bleed out.
So my thing is, with all the, we have to drink water. Now he's got to drink this water, right, to hydrate. My question is, why don't this water behave like that inside of his body? When all of your liquids get messed up and bubbling around in your body, you could die. Because my question is, is the liquids, our body has 70% liquids in them. Why don't the liquids in our body behave like the liquids we see here when I'm on the ISS? How is it possible for me to keep my liquids flowing in a equilibrium in my
that's a
body?
Fair question.
Because listen, that sink to Earth. That sink to the Earth and all that in the but I'm off of the Earth. Why am I?
So here's the thing, right? First of all, what you need to understand is on the ISS, the pressure they're experiencing is kind of the same as us. It's just like being in a zero-G plane or something, with constant acceleration. It's not that, but you know what I mean. He's
floating. He's really floating.
Yeah, that's the same as if you were in an airplane and it was diving down. You would be floating because you're in free fall towards the Earth. The ISS is in free fall towards the Earth. Let me finish.
Listen, water won't behave like this in a falling airplane. I know.
No, it does. You can see it on the Vomit Comet. It does exactly the same. But here's the thing: regardless of how water is acting outside of the body, inside your body, you've got mechanisms to move liquids around. As you swallow, there's muscles that move the food or the liquid all the way down through your trachea into your stomach, right? And then your stomach is a pressurized container that then releases the acid to digest, and then it pushes that via muscles, waves of muscles through your intestine. So it doesn't really matter what's happening outside because your body is controlling what's happening inside. However, what happens is because wait one second, let me finish. What does happen is because unlike on Earth, our food will be sitting at the bottom of our stomach, right? What happens with an area for gas to expand above it, right? And that's why you burp, because the liquid melting down that food causes gas that burp. But on when you're in the ISS or in any zero G, that liquid doesn't settle, right? It just fills the space of your stomach. So astronauts on the ISS can't burp because their stomach doesn't have that space to create the gas. If you burp on the ISS, you'd actually vomit.
So listen, they can't burp, they can't fart. Where is the gas in their body that's accumulating? Where is it gonna go?
It's all mixed in with the liquids, and it comes out when they do their business. You know, from what I read, the actual business of doing a number 2 is a rather explosive event on board the ISS because it can. There's no other way for those gases to escape the body.
I got you. You gotta allow me to just interject briefly. Yeah. You're saying I'm saying if they can't burp, they can't fart, and if they can't fart, they can't even poop.
Oh no, they can poop because that again, like I explained, that's about muscles in your body contracting to push stuff out, right? Whereas a fart is letting gases out.
Hold on. I hate to be graphic, but let's keep it real. It's impossible to poop without farting. That's sad that they can poop, but they can't fart. That's kind of impossible. Oh my God. Well, they can poop, but they can't fart. I can't do that. I gotta fart when I poop. I'm sorry.
Yeah, again, but that's because you're on Earth with pressure acting on things in a certain way. You know, your bodily functions on the ISS act in a different way. You know, there isn't that constant pulling down that we have on Earth. You know, the food doesn't settle at the bottom in the same way. The gases don't get to be released in the same way. So, you know, this is something that, like I said, it's true. You won't ever see an astronaut on ISS burp because they can't do that. The space inside their stomach doesn't exist. It's full of the liquid or whatever that's there.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Some days I have gas in my stomach and I can't burp it out and I can't fart. And it is the, listen, it is the worst.
Hey, how did we get to be adults talking about farting and pooping on the internet? When did this happen?
Because listen, think about this. This is science. This is biology. This is just talking about how gas works in the body. So let's try to be a bit mature. Let me just make a point here. When gas is trapped in my stomach, it is the worst pain ever. I don't know if y'all ever felt it in the chat room. They make medicine.
I know what you mean.
For this, Tums and up. Yes, like, so if I'm in an ISS, if I can't, there's no way for gas to be released from my body, that means I just got to imagine the pain that they would have to be in at some point. And you can't say that they're releasing the gas when they poop, because the way we release gas when we poop is by farting. And if they can't fart, they can't burp.
Here's the thing.
They can't burp, they can't fart.
Like I was saying, that gas doesn't really get a time to form, to separate from the liquid. Because in their stomach, it's just all one big fluid, you know? So when, it's quite disgusting, but when they do number 2s, it's an explosive event because it's a mixture of the gas and the liquid in their stomach coming out in one. The biology of how it works is quite gross, but somehow it's something I read up about.
Craig, I'm about to give you $1 million idea for globalists. You guys, this is for you. Make a shirt on Teespring with an astronaut on a toilet with a nuclear explosion up under him.
Oh, we've already got hashtag shart in space in my chat.
Yeah, and put what you call it, explosive poop. I like that shit. He said, and the explosive shit is what the astronauts taking up there. They doing the Dr. Dre explosive West Coast shit. Go ahead. Hey, but yeah, but that was an interesting bill. I'm gonna press.
Yeah, let's
forward
move
here
away
with a
from the
first
pooping in
question.
space discussion,
Yeah,
shall we?
that's enough of the gas already. But that's something to think about. If a child want to go and be an astronaut, these are things to consider: how your body gonna function in space, how the liquids
Yeah,
operate in your bodies.
and
But we gotta
that's
be
what the
mature
ISS
about
is
those.
for. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
why
So
we've focused on the ISS and low Earth orbit, because it's given us the ability to study the effects of space on the human body. The astronauts on ISS spend a lot longer there than the people did when they were going to the moon. And if we're thinking about, Mars missions or permanent moon missions, we need to understand how that environment out there is going to affect us. And that's what the ISS has been for all these years. It's for doing experiments, for figuring out how to grow stuff in space, how technology works in space, how our bodies are going to act in space, and how they act when you come back from space.
okay, so let me go. Thank you for once again, everybody, for tuning
Excuse me.
in. Make sure that you subscribe to Fight the Flat Earth channel as well as mine if this is your first time. I'm gonna allow the first call and then I'll bounce back with some of my questions later. We'll let you guys come in real quick. I know y'all impatient, so get a few one at a time. Make sure y'all come prepared and stuff like that, and with respect.
That certainly went away I didn't expect, talking about how astronauts poo in space.
You know what? That might be a viral video for globalists, because check this out. If you have if you got a lot of videos under science, you can actually put on a thumbnail an astronaut like with gas in his stomach with a question mark saying what happens to gas in the body in space, and folks will be like, that's something I want to learn about. And you can actually teach them, like,
Well,
yeah,
you know what
what
I'm writing
happens to the
tomorrow.
gases in the huh?
You know what video I'm writing tomorrow?
I'm serious. That'll be a good video. A lot of people probably wonder that one, just to give you a little idea. I know I would watch it. Ed Vance, are you prepared?
Yeah, I have a question. What up, bro, Sanchez? Salutes to you and Craig for this, man.
Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, bro. But I just got off work. You already know me, but I don't know if you actually missed question about the constellations that we see in the so-called northern hemisphere, and how we don't have a constellation for the so-called southern hemisphere.
You mean you don't have like
we went over that before, Craig.
yeah, do you mean how there's Polaris in the north but there isn't actually a seven star? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Well, what about
the constellation of stars that we see, basically the zodiac that we see in the sky? Taurus.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
yeah.
all the zodiacs are kind of on the equatorial plane of the stars, aren't they? So
Ed, are you still there?
Yeah, I just wanted him to expound. He ain't really saying nothing though, bro.
Okay, I'll pull up some screen shares to help the bill out.
Well, okay, so the reason that you can see the same constellations for the zodiac pretty much anywhere is because the stars for that exist on the equatorial plane. They're closer to the equator than they are above or below, which means that from most points on Earth you can still see those stars. But they do move in the sky throughout the year, and then there's some that aren't there for 6 months of the year compared to others. So the stars and the zodiacs in particular, the constellations for the zodiacs, are exactly where we expect them to be.
Right, in the northern hemisphere. So
And
what
the southern
about for
hemisphere.
those under the globe? Do they still see the same constellation we see, or do they see a whole different set of stars?
Well, for the zodiacs, they see the same ones, but they're upside down. But yeah, in general, there is a different set of stars for the northern and southern hemisphere. There's stars you can only see if you're north of the equator, and there's stars that you can only see if you're south of the equator. There's stars you can only see at March, and then there's stars you can only see in November.
Can I break some down, guys, just to get
Yeah.
in on this bill with you? The zodiac wheel, it according to what Craig is saying, there should be no such thing as a zodiac wheel. There should be a such thing as zodiac wheels, plural, and how that will work. See, on a flat Earth, I'm gonna show you why I say that right now. On the flat Earth, we only need one wheel above this circle. And like he said, you won't be able to see the entire wheel in the sky at any point on Earth, because some of the sky gonna be below the horizon line, of course. But nevertheless, everyone on a flat Earth will have the same constellations, and people below the equator on a globe don't have a different set of zodiac symbols than us. They are still Capricorn, Sagittarius. You're right.
Yeah, and like I said, that's because the stars for the zodiacs are in line with our equator, rather than, you know, in line with the North, the Antarctic or the Arctic, right? So wherever you are on Earth, the zodiacs are pretty much visible. But you know, different cultures did have different zodiacs. They didn't call them zodiacs or whatever, but you know, different cultures had different stars for different things.
They had different names for the same constellations. Like my girlfriend is Vietnamese. This is a place that's on the other side of the globe from America, and they still got my same constellation. It's just a different name. They still acknowledge the same stars.
But they'd be upside down in Vietnam, won't they, though? The stars that she sees in Vietnam compared to you will be upside down.
Well, here's the thing. Let's look at this Earth right here. Can you see my screen, Chef?
Yeah.
A person looking up over here should not see the upside down stars from a person over here. They should see totally different constellations. This person looking out at a universe this way should see a whole community of stars and galaxies over here.
But the Earth rotates.
Hold on. Yeah, okay, let's say if the Earth do rotates, then everyone everywhere would see then our zodiac wheel, we wouldn't have a zodiac wheel.
It would change.
Right, think about it. That means when the Earth rotates, I would see new constellations that I didn't see. But if the Earth is rotating, it's only showing us these same constellations, these 12 disciples, Capricorn, Aquarius. It should be more than that, because guess what? There's more zodiacs out there. It's more universes and galaxies surrounding this globe.
Okay, so but the thing is, Bro Sanchez, one side of that will be facing the sun, whereas one side will be facing the night.
But the Earth spins, though. But
it
spins, like you said, though.
Yeah, so one side is going to be seeing the sun, whereas one side sees the night. And as it rotates into the night, you see those stars. And like I said, all of the stars in the zodiac are in line with our equator, right? So wherever you are, you're going to be able to see those stars. As the Earth rotates, they will come into view.
So
right?
No, see, that's not what I'm saying is I can go outside. And if I was to take a whole trip around the Earth and end up where the point where I started at, and if I was to map the sky, this is what I would get right here. If I show you every one ancient zodiac, it looked just like this, the Egyptians and everybody.
But they're not all exactly the same, though. That's after our last discussion, bro. I actually went and researched that particularly, and the zodiacs, or whatever they were called by different cultures throughout history, they're all very different. Very, very different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, wait, hold on. What you're saying is that they should be the same, but they're not. They're actually very different throughout history.
This is what you're not getting. I'm saying that the Greeks looked up in the sky and they said that star right there is called Venus. It's called Jupiter, after their Greek gods. But other people saw those same stars and they named them after their gods and had their deities in different shapes for the
I understand that, but the actual constellation, the actual stars that were used were different.
I'm almost done. Hold on. I'm almost done. You got to let me finish, Craig. What I'm saying is this. No one acknowledged different stars and different constellations. They just called them different names.
That's the thing.
What I'm saying, and I'm concluding right here.
Okay.
Everyone did not call Venus Venus and Mars Mars. Everyone didn't have a Greek pantheon, but everyone saw Venus and Mars. They didn't name it Venus and Mars in their culture.
No, I understand that, but my point is that they didn't have the same constellations. Different cultures throughout history didn't look at a group of stars and go, "Oh, that's the Big Dipper," and they all agreed it was the Big Dipper. In fact, but that's what I'm talking about. We're talking about the zodiac, right? So the zodiac. Right, hold on. The zodiac is based on groups of stars that are a constellation, right? So you've got Leo in the sky, right? And you've got whatever else in the sky for the different for the different zodiacs, right? Different cultures throughout history didn't look at those groups of stars and make the same shapes. They were very different.
That's what I was saying.
No, you were saying the opposite.
What I was saying. No, that's what I was saying.
No. You're saying. Wait, hold on. Stop. One sec. What you're saying is about individual stars. Right?
Hold on. No.
Bro, please give me 1 sec. Bro, please give me 1 sec.
I'll let you talk. Let me clarify what I'm saying in just a few seconds, and you can have it right back. Because obviously you don't know that me and you saying the same thing. Just give me a few seconds, and you can have it. I promise. I'm gonna repeat what I said slowly. What I'm saying is the zodiac wheel we got on the screen. We got Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, all that. Everyone don't call it that, but they acknowledge these patterns in the sky.
No, they didn't. That's my point.
Hold on. But let me make my point, then you make your point, and then we can bring clarity here. So my point was that, so everyone know what's being argued. My point is that no one are seeing new constellations. They're just naming the same constellations their own name, and that's what Craig just said. And he said,
no. I said something completely different. You're missing what I'm saying. They didn't have the same shapes. They didn't have the same constellations. Different stars.
Saying they had the same shapes, though.
You just did. You just said that they will look and recognize that shape.
I didn't say the word shape. I didn't say shapes. Here's what
you said. Constellation, right?
Listen, what I'm telling you. I'm saying that today we look up in the sky and we say, "Oh, that's the Big Dipper." Somebody in the ancient world may have not saw it as a spoon. They may have not even linked those stars together to make a spoon.
Yeah, that's my point.
They may have made a. That was
so the zodiac was different. You know, the zodiac wheel. Right, okay. Can I speak for 1 minute? Please give me 1 minute.
Wait.
Please, can I just 1 minute, please?
I got you. I'm gonna give you more.
Before it leaves my head, bro, please, can you just let me, please.
Listen, right? I've been very nice with the mic. It's only gonna take a second because this is what I wanted you to say to make my point. We both agreeing we saying the same thing right now. That they didn't draw these shapes the same, and I agree with you on that.
So the zodiac was different.
Hold on, I'm finna give you the mic. The zodiacs was different, but the stars weren't. That's my point. The stars weren't. For the globe to be true, the stars would have to be different. You shouldn't have.
Why would the stars have to be different?
I'm finna explain right now. Because the people that's looking up at the sky from the bottom of this globe should see different stars than the people looking up at the top.
And they do.
They shouldn't be seeing the same stars, naming them different things like we just agreed happened. And you just agreed to that. You can't say they do see different stars now.
Don't mute me.
Now I yield the mic. I yield the floor.
Right, okay, so they see the zodiacs because they are on the equatorial plane, right? They're in the middle, all right? But they see different stars. In the north and the south, you do see different stars, all right? And that's what I've been trying to say. The fact that you see the zodiacs is because they are in the middle, right? They are in line with our equator. So pretty much everyone on Earth will be able to see those.
Different is how the ancestors saw the shapes. We just agreed that they might not see that as a dipper. They may have saw that, put it together.
Yeah, talking specifically about the zodiacs, yes. But the ancients, right? Ancients in the north and the south will see different stars, though, right?
Listen what I'm saying on the globe. Everybody don't have the same up on a globe, and you have to admit that. These people on this side of the globe, when they look up where my arrow is going, can you see my mouse cursor?
Yeah.
People that standing on this side of the globe that live here, when they look up, they're not looking over here or over here. They're up, is up this atmosphere above them, and they can see a whole set of constellations and stars in this part of the universe or space or galaxy.
Yeah. Well, the other side is the sun, yes.
And listen, and these people here, they should be seeing a totally different set.
Well, they see the sun.
Like you said, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. The sun is a star. You don't have to interrupt me to say things that don't need to be said. I said they see another group of stars. Ain't the sun a star?
He keeps muting me.
Okay, then that's what I'm saying. You didn't have to, don't do that. So,
but I'm trying to say that we do, right?
No, I don't really need you to say nothing right now. I let you talk. Why
Dude, please stop muting me.
Let me. No, well, why don't you stop interrupting me?
Because you're not giving me a chance to explain, buddy. That I'm trying to explain, and you're not listening.
I haven't asked nothing yet. I'm trying to work my way up to the question, and you won't let me.
Okay, well, okay. Please get to your question. I feel like I've explained it many times, but please.
Yeah, in order for you to answer a question, you gotta let the question be asked. That's just
okay.
Out of
Right, go on then, please.
Respect. Just be patient. Now check this out. What I'm saying, you said it. On a globe, they see different stars.
Yes.
Then when I say, okay, well, why are you interrupting? Don't do
I'm
that.
not. I'm agreeing with you.
So
I didn't interrupt. I agreed with you. It's a conversation. I was just like, yeah, you're right. I'm not interrupting.
Okay, well, look, I'm just trying to expedite myself so I can give you the mic. That's all. I'm trying to rush this out. So what I'm saying is, on a globe, right, you admitted that people see different stars, but when I say no, they don't see different stars, because we just agreed that we all see the same stars and we draw them out as different zodiacs. And you said that you're basically saying there can be different, we can see the same stars and draw them out as different zodiac shapes. But when I get to this image and I show you that that shouldn't be, we should all be seeing different stars. We shouldn't be seeing the same stars, turning them into different zodiac shapes. Everyone should just be seeing different stars according to this globe. And I'm using my mouse cursor to point why. People looking up over here should see different stars than people over here, but they don't. They see we got different zodiacs on our zodiac wheels because people don't acknowledge the same shapes, but they acknowledge the same stars. In other words, we can have different zodiacs that represent the same stars. And how I know this is true, there's only one zodiac wheel for the Earth, and it's been that way from the beginning of time. Here go one of the oldest ones. They got different names.
Can I respond yet?
Oh, well, you know what? Sure, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. Right, go back to the picture of the Earth for me. Right, point to the left. Right? Mm-hmm. So people looking up there, they're seeing one set of stars. Point to the right. The people looking up there, they are seeing a different stars. In fact, they are seeing a big star called the sun. So yes, people looking one way and the other will see different things. But as the Earth rotates, they then see the same thing that the other people saw before the Earth rotates. These zodiacs are in line with our equator. All right? We see some of the same stars from the north and the south. Some of the same stars. Not all of them. Some. The ones that we do see are on the equatorial plane, which is where the zodiacs lie. But you do see different stars depending on where you are looking. If you were to take this image of the Earth you've got right here, and you were to look, if you were to stand at the top and look up, at the bottom and look up, at the right and look up, and on the left look up, they would see different stars. All right? They would see some of the same stars, but they would see mostly different stars.
Yeah, you definitely will have some little bleed over in different sections.
Yeah,
but
so that's what actually happens.
I agree with that, but what I'm saying, though, Craig, if that happens and everyone's seeing different stars, why are there just the same zodiac wheel?
Because the zodiacs, well, there isn't the same zodiac wheels, but the zodiacs, the constellations that form the zodiacs, and I've said this many times now, lie on the equatorial plane where everybody can see them. That is the some stars that everybody can see because they're in line with our equator.
I just don't understand how that can be a group of stars on a globe where everybody can see. It just
Because space
being
is
on a
3D.
globe make it. Hold
Wow,
up.
spinning
Hold,
through space. I'm
wait
sorry,
a minute.
bro, but
Wait a minute.
he's basically
Hold
saying
on.
they
Hold on.
fixed.
Hold on, man.
I can answer that question quite easily.
What I'm saying is, I just don't see how it's possible at any given time, no matter any circumstance, how everyone on a 3D sphere can see the same thing at the same time. Like you telling me the people looking up over here can see the same thing that the people looking up over here.
No, they can't. I've just said they can't because, right, again, the first you pointed up towards the left. They're looking at stars. The ones down towards the right are looking at the sun. Right? But as the Earth rotates, they then see the same stars that they did before because the Earth rotates. I don't understand the problem here.
So my thing is, if the problem is, if everyone's saying all of these stars because there's a whole universe surrounding this globe, I still just not getting how we got these same 12 zodiac.
Because they are on the equatorial plane.
Equatorial plane. But
yeah,
see,
so that's at the point where everybody can, at night, right, at nighttime, everybody can see those constellations because they're in line with our equator. So even if you're like right at the north, say at the North Pole, right, these constellations will be on the horizon for you. Yeah? Right, you're going to see different stars to the people further south, but these stars that form these constellations are going to be on the horizon. Yeah. But if you go to the equator, those stars are directly above you because space is 3D.
Listen, this is what you got to understand. None of what you saying explains this shit away. I don't care.
Explains
about
it perfectly.
Hold on, I let you talk. And I even let you interrupt and interject on me. Here's what I'm saying. The equatorial plane does not explain why everyone on Earth should be able to see the same doggone zodiacs we've been seeing since the Egyptian time today.
How does it not? Listen, it explains it perfectly.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how it don't. Because if there are more constellations and more stars around this globe than these 12 that we see here, why aren't other people acknowledging those? That's my whole thing. For the year, listen, throughout the years of astrology, we've only acknowledged these 12. I'm finna do this in a simple way.
I mean, that's not true, though. I explained to you that's not true.
Hold on.
The zodiac wheels or whatever from different cultures are different. Sorry, I thought you'd finished that point. I apologize.
Right. I may say some things that you may think are dumb, that you may think are not true, but just let me finish them for the sake of your audience and my audience having clarity here on both sides. Now check this out. And salutes to both audiences, by the way. All I'm saying is this. There's an equator line drawn right here where my mouse at. Going below that equator line, people should be navigating using the South Star, not the North Star. And when they, and when they get below that equator line, their compass should now be magnetic south, not magnetic north. It should flip. That should be a flip line of magnetism.
Compasses work.
Now watch this. Hold on. Now check this out. The sky should flip. When you go below this equator, you should see a whole nother zodiac wheel in this area of the universe than you see in this upper area of the universe. In other words, the Earth would be sandwiched. I'm about to conclude. The Earth would be sandwiched in between two wheels. People at the top, right, they would look up and they would see like a halo. It would be like all of the 12 zodiac above here. And at this equator point, you won't be able to see those 12 zodiac that's represented for the upper part of the Earth. But when you go below it, you will look up in the sky and it'll be another wheel below this one. So you got like a sandwich, right, with the globe in the middle. to where you have a wheel at the top, a wheel at the bottom, and listen, you can even start throwing them on the side. I'm giving you an example.
Yeah, okay, that's not how it works though. Right,
okay.
Right, so again, the zodiacs, what we see on Earth now, they're in line with our equator. That's all that matters. If you are on the north, right, they are not directly above you, right? The zodiac wheel is not directly above you. If you are at the north, like you were showing right at the top there, you will see the zodiac constellations on the equator, not up in the sky. They will be on the equator. But they're going to be the same constellations because you're seeing them from a different angle, right? But the stars that you're seeing are different, bro Sanchez. That's what you're not getting. You are seeing different stars. Some of the stars are the same. The sum of the stars happen to be the ones that are on the equatorial plane, forming what you call the zodiac wheel. But they change position in the sky based on where you are on Earth. And you said it should flip when you go below the equator. It does. The entire sky literally does flip when you go below the equator. Everything is upside down.
No. What I'm saying is, I didn't say it should flip. What I'm saying is it should be a whole nother. So I'm finna go in the paint and show you what I mean, because I don't want to be confused.
Well, it's the same zodiacs, but they're upside down.
Hold on. I'm going to show you what I mean. Because I don't mean it should flip.
That's what you said, though.
I'll show you what I mean. Well, what I said and what I mean. Yeah. If you want to go with what I said versus what I mean, that's on you. But I'm having.
Oh, I can only go with what you say. But your friend also mentioned about the fact that we're spinning through space and stuff. Well,
now, listen, I don't want to talk about my friend right now.
Well, he was the one that asked. I thought he was the one coming on to ask the questions.
Well, they know when I'm in the middle of trying to explain something to wait. I don't want you to run from what I'm doing right now. Just hold on a second. You speak for understanding, and that's what I'm gonna pull up now. Here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it shouldn't be flipped down here. You're trying to make me say that, and I'm not. I'm saying that should be another zodiac. I put this up to say, look at this, guys. Here go a zodiac wheel right here. And you only need one zodiac wheel on a flat earth, because you would have, listen my explanation. On a flat earth, you would look up in the sky and you would only see this one wheel on a flat earth. Let me show you another way to look at it if I can speak without being interrupted real quick. Here is time-lapse footage, flat earth, of the rotation of the heavens. Earth not moving, the stars is. This is Polaris in the middle. Check this out. If just say this is Polaris, the North Star, somebody should go below the equator on the other side of the Earth and see the South Star and a whole nother spinning zodiac wheel. And each time you go to these 4 points on a globe, hold on. Each time, let me share some with y'all. I'm trying to explain this from a flat Earth perspective.
Why did you mute me?
I'm showing you how it works on flat Earth, like a carousel. That's how we actually get this particular.
Yeah, but bro, the wheels at the eastern, you put the wheel in the wrong place. The wheel should be to the east with the rotation, not above the north.
Well, what I'm doing with my example here is I'm trying to take the flat earth understanding and put it on a globe model. Now, I know you're going to say that's a no, you shouldn't do that. Maybe I shouldn't, but I'm just trying to make it make sense. Because on a flat earth,
I know, right? So let's just look at this image one sec. Let's just look at this image one sec, right?
This monstrosity is my attempt to.
Yeah, and I just want to talk about that for 1 sec, right? Yeah. So in this, where's north? On this, where is north?
We could say north could be, and to my understanding, north on a globe would be toward the center of the core, directly in the middle. But
no,
for the sake of
that's
this
not
image,
what north is. No.
For the sake of this image, hold on. Let me answer you, man. Let me finish.
In the slightest.
North would be straight up and in the center.
Right. So the top there is north, right?
Right.
Is that
that's
right?
What we both know.
So in this, which way would the Earth be rotating?
I didn't really specify a way. You want to specify one? I was just
Okay,
making
so
a general
it would
remark
be
for the-
rotating from the right to the left, okay? From east to west, yeah? Or from
Sure,
west to
we can go
east?
with
Which one is it?
Sure, let's do left to right. That's fine.
Okay, right, it's
That's
going
fine.
left to right, okay? So the circle at the top is supposed to be the zodiac wheel, right?
Oh, yeah, that's what it.
But well, in that case, you've got the zodiac wheel in the wrong place. The zodiac wheel should be to the right of the Earth there, not at the top.
You mean where my mouse is now?
Yes, that's where the zodiac wheel should be, because if you were on the equator there, you would look straight up and see the zodiacs, right?
Okay,
Whereas,
so let me do
so you need to put it in the right place compared to what Earth is.
Okay, let me do it this way then. No problem, because all I'm trying to do is, and this is a good bill because we
Yeah,
got
no, this is
different
actually
concepts
helpful.
here.
Right, okay, right, there we go. So let's still say that the top of that is north, right? And the right of that is east, the bottom of that is south, and the left of that is west, okay? Right?
Okay.
So, and let's just get rid of the, can you get rid of the circle on the left, or we just ignore the circle on the left? We just want one of the circles, okay? Right, so if you are looking, assuming on this, looking right is nighttime, looking left is daytime, all right? So anyone looking left on this right now will be seeing the sun, okay? Anyone looking to the right will be seeing stars because it's looking away from the sun. And that circle represents the zodiac wheel, which would appear directly above you from the equator, okay? Now, let's imagine a person right at the top of there on the north, right? The person at the top on the north will still be able to see that wheel. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, a person standing here would definitely see, I would say, a good 30% of this portion of this wheel right here. If they're here, they can still make out.
Let's say you're
30%
just
of each
you're just off of the north. So let's say you're in Greenland, and you're going to be looking at that wheel, and if for you, where would it be? It wouldn't be straight up, would it? It would be on the horizon. It would be as you look towards the horizon, the stars that are close to the horizon would be the zodiac, right? So you're still going to be able to see them from the north. They're just going to be in a completely different position, right? Vice versa, if you are standing at the north, you look straight up, you're going to see Polaris. Whereas if you are on the equator and you look straight up, Polaris for you is going to be on the horizon. So wherever you are on the Earth, as it rotates towards those stars, you're going to be able to see them, but they're going to be at a different angle compared to somebody else on the Earth. Does that make sense?
You know what? You answered me to satisfaction, but before I say if it makes sense or not, I'm going to do more research and do my due diligence, and I'm going to replay this, and I'm going to go into what you're saying, and I'm going to look into it some more. I'm grasping you, though.
Hey, bro, right, there's a free software that I like to use called Solar System Scope, all right? And it's kind of got the heliocentric universe mapped out, and you can look at it from different angles. Do me a favor, download that software. There's a free version and there's a paid version, but just download the free version and have a play around with it and look at how the constellations look from different points. It might help having a 3D representation to be able to visualize it in your head. I'll send you a link to it as well. In fact, I might even have a code for you for the paid version, which I can share.
Okay. And I'm finna come up with to Ed Vance, salutes to you. Thank you for being patient. You can definitely say what you had to say, sir. My bad. And to the people in the waiting room, I got y'all coming right up.
So, my friend, you were saying about how we see the same stars even though we're rotating and stuff, right? Was that your question?
Yeah, but you also have to, add in what they tell us, with the wobble and then flying through Earth as space is expanding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So here's the thing about the stars that we see at night, all right? All the stars that we see at night with our eyes, they're, galactically speaking, pretty damn close to us. And they are, moving around the center of the galaxy with us. So their position relative to us doesn't really change. It does drift slightly, and there's records in nautical almanacs of the positions of the stars changing over the centuries. But all of the stars that we see at night are really quite close to us and doing the same movements that we do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you saying basically they're locked. They're like locked with Earth's rotation and all that.
Well, not necessarily with Earth's rotation. Obviously, as the Earth rotates, we see them move through the sky. But let's take Polaris, for instance. Polaris is in alignment with Earth's axial tilt. So Earth's tilting like that, and Polaris is directly above it up here, right? And that is moving through the galaxy with us. So as Earth rotates on it, on its axis, Polaris stays where it is. And even as Earth orbits the sun, that still relatively stays in the same place. The same way as if you stuck a coin on your ceiling and you walked around your room, you'd still be able to see that coin wherever you are in your room. It would just look from a different angle, right? But it would still be relatively close to you. It's the same with all the stars that we see. They're all close to us, and their position changes relative to, our own rotation.
Yeah, I guess, bro. It still don't make no sense to me.
Hey,
I
look.
wanna show you something real quick.
Yeah, can I just quickly respond to the guy here?
Yeah.
I understand why a lot of people say it doesn't make sense. Space is so vast that it can be hard to grasp the scale and the movement of things on such a massive, on such a massive scale. And there is many programs that you can find online that help you visualize this a lot better than I can explain it in words. I'm not the most eloquent person. I understand that sometimes I can, ramble. Okay. So rather than me trying to explain it to you with words, look up one of these programs online that can help you visualize it in 3D. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, and I'm saying that, I'm actually do that, but at the same time, I just want to simplify something. When you look at this carousel, the animals on it they're the zodiac symbols, and the sky is being spun from the North Pole, just like we see here. Each of these triangles are a time zone, right? Whenever the sun is in your triangle, it's 12 o'clock in your, like a roulette table. Like the flat earth it makes so much sense to me, like a watch bezel. Whereas, like you said, with the globe earth, it can be, and I'm not saying because one makes sense to me that make it true. The one that don't make sense to me is probably true. And I'm just, in my seeking of the truth, I'm yet to get my intelligence to a level to make sense out of this complexity. Maybe it's levels to this thing.
Here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with not understanding. Ignorance is not a bad thing. The only bad thing is willful ignorance, when you refuse to learn. And Bro Sanchez, I know you've done a lot of research, and you've reached, I suppose, what you could call your own truths. But maybe it's because you haven't looked at quite the right things, and I appreciate the fact that you said you're going to look more into things. And whenever I find something that doesn't make sense to me, I want to look into it more. It's how we all learn. There's nothing wrong with not knowing something. The only thing is wrong is when you agree to be willfully ignorant.
True that. Most definitely, I gotta drop a bomb to that one. Hey, you got 8 people in the waiting room. I'm gonna get some on my own too. Make sure y'all sub to FTFE. They pretty flat earth friendly over there. Go ahead and check them out.
Can be spirited discussions, that's for sure.
Well, I'm lying about the flat earth friendly, but it's fun, goddammit. Hey, we like the debate. Go and sub.
Salutes to you, Craig. Much love to you, brother.
Peace.
If you coming on, I hope you guys have your questions on deck with Craig, and fight the flat earth in the house. John Crawford, we waiting on your microphone. Let me do this. I'm gonna let everybody on. Maybe I shouldn't do this, but we're gonna go with who's ever mic one at a time, and everyone stay muted. Some people been waiting longer than others. That's why I said let me let them all on, because I don't know the order.
Oh, I don't take the Xbox.
Oh, no. You're definitely not going to make it onto the call with a background
That's not me.
like that. So, calm and cool. You or Malachi might.
Yeah, I'm right here. Yeah, I was gonna ask him a simple question and Sanchez, can you do something for me? Can you pull up a picture of a comet in space?
Okay. This is gonna get good, I think.
Hello, Malachi. Nice to meet you.
Okay, nice to meet you. All right. So you see how all these comets have trails, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you and that's in space. So can you explain to me why the Earth and all the bodies that's in our solar system, including the sun, doesn't have a trail? Because we're moving faster than the comets.
Interesting question.
Space.
So, actually, Earth does have a trail. It's just not really visible. The trails that you see on the comets and that in these pictures, they're from a specific, a specific mechanism. Most of the asteroids and comets that we see going through our solar system are big balls of ice and rock. Okay, and as they move through their orbit around the sun, and they get closer to the sun because orbits are elliptical, it heats up and causes pressure on the surface of the asteroid, and it causes the ice to turn into gas, and that's what the trail is. It's the gases that are coming out of the comet because of the composition of the comet. Interestingly, what you find is actually two trails on Comet. There's one trail that will point directly behind the comet, but there's another trail that will always point directly away from the sun, because the solar winds from the comet are pushing particles in a certain way. So it's leaving a trail directly behind it, and there's a trail that is actually left pushing directly away from the sun.
Okay, so wait. So we have I think we have two gas giants. We have the sun itself is a ball of fire. We have a planet that's literally majority water. And yet you give me an explanation of a comet, but you don't give an explanation why the bodies, because that was a specific question, why the bodies on this solar system don't have trail. The sun, you can't see a trail on the sun, can't see a trail on Jupiter, can't see a trail on Saturn.
Okay, they're gas. The sun is plasma being held together by gravity. Jupiter is gas being held together by gravity. There's not the composition that would cause the expansion of gases.
Are we traveling million miles per hour, millions of miles or whatever?
We're traveling really fast, yes. Here's the thing, right? Look,
that's simple physics.
Earth and Jupiter,
physics.
They actually do have trails. They have trails of particles that go behind them, and trails of particles that point away from the sun. Hold on, let me.
You do realize that these ain't real images.
Let me finish the question.
Don't nobody unmute your mic without permission, man. This ain't that kind of joint today. We gotta have order, because it's I'm letting y'all get in with your questions, but I still got questions, and I'm gonna get everybody in. But a claim has been made that Earth has trails. And the question should be asked, are there any way of us visually seeing them? Do we have any? That would be beautiful images that NASA say, look at the Earth trails. Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Yeah, so the trail from Earth isn't really something that's visible with the naked eye.
So then we can't prove it's there, right?
We can detect the particles, though.
My thing is, if a comet has a trail and it's moving roughly at the same speed as Earth, why wouldn't they both have one? That's a reasonable.
Like I said, different compositions. The composition of Earth is not a big ball of ice, and it has an atmosphere keeping all those materials contained. Whereas a comet, let me finish. A comet doesn't have the same composition of Earth. It's majority of it is going to be water ice. And it doesn't have the gravitational pull of Earth because it's not as big, and it doesn't have the atmosphere containing other things on it as well. They're different things, and they're going to act in different ways.
I got you.
What about the moon?
Hold 1 second, because you letting them off on this. Comets are mostly water and ice is water, basically water and rock. That's what the Earth is, water and rock, mostly water and rock, and they moving. So they the same composition. Now the trail that we see from the comet is the comet's atmosphere bleeding off of it. We gotta ask, why don't the Earth atmosphere bleed off like this?
It's not it's it's not the atmosphere, it's gases escaping from the surface. And again, I did explain that a comet doesn't have the same gravitational acceleration of Earth. It's a lot smaller. It can't contain the kinetic energy of the gases escaping from the comet overcomes the gravitational acceleration of the comet. Whereas Earth is massive enough that the gravitational acceleration keeps things contained, including the atmosphere. The comet doesn't have an atmosphere. The gases are escaping from the inside of the comet. It's water being, it's ice being heated up, creating, geysers of gas, steam, and rock and dust that end up behind it.
According to science, comets do have atmospheres. Just y'all look it up, but I'm gonna let Malachi finish.
And see, okay, so you got your explanation on Earth, and I disagree with it because that defies physics itself. The moon, right?
What about
it has ice. It has ice. It has water. It's a ball with a small atmosphere. Explain where's the trail.
Again, the gravitational acceleration on the moon is much larger than a comet or something, and most of the ice is contained well under the surface of on the north and the south poles of the moon, and aren't really in places that are heated by the sun. So there's no reason for the gases to expand and escape.
I get it. So basically, the laws of the physics and force doesn't apply.
No, it's laws of physics that are actually causing that to happen.
Okay, so force then force is going to apply no matter what it's on. That's including the sun. It's moving millions of miles per hour. It should be a trail.
Why should there be a trail?
Because if a comet, we're explaining it.
A comet isn't the sun, and a comet isn't a planet. They're different things, different compositions, different gravitational accelerations, different orbits. Hold on. Hey, you asked me a question. Let me respond.
Well, I didn't ask a question. I was just trying to make a point. I ain't asked a question. I don't remember. Only thing I was saying was anything moving through a medium will leave a trail behind, whether it's visible or not. You said these things do have a trail. They're just not visible. Now you saying, why should they have a trail?
No, I said the Earth leaves a trail.
Right. So why are you asking now? Why should they have a trail?
No, I said that about the sun, because he said about the sun.
But it's still.
I know the bigger something is, the force is multiplied.
Well, yeah, gravity creates a force that's proportional to the mass of two objects and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them.
So moving millions of miles per hour through space, the sun shouldn't have a trail.
It's just plasma contained by gravity. There's nothing that's heating up the sun or anything to create.
Let's go to the next caller at this time. So check this out. Appreciate you, Malachi. Fall back for a second. Let me make sure I get all the callers in, and y'all kind of be brief if you can, or if you can get right to your point and do your thing. Let's go ahead, Comet Cool. You got it.
Appreciate you, bro, Sanchez. I just want to know, I appreciate your teachings, man, because then it outlines what other things should be taught as. My man's, I can't remember your name. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names, bro, but respect to you. But I just want you to give some type of descriptive pictorial example of what you're trying to explain pertaining to these trails, because it sounds like this is just gibberish what you're saying to try to defend what's being said. So can you give some type of physical example, something that can relate to what you're trying to, explain or elaborate on?
You want me to give you a physical example of a comet going through space? How am I supposed to do that?
Anything that, because everything in this world is basically purple. There's a lot of things that Bro Sanchez uses that you can't physically see right now, but we can physically see and touch, basically like the geographical signals. There's any other geographical signals that you can use, or anything that you can use as far as to relation to what you're trying to explain, basically. If you don't understand, don't worry about it. It's cool.
So, we'll move to the next caller. Let me go to who's next on the.
Let me handle them right quick.
You got you, General. You got it.
Yeah, I wanted to say, like, he talking about the star, but he's really not proving that the Earth is round. And I wanted to tell him that a lot of the things that he's pushing is more like a belief. He's not pulling up reality. He's not dealing with nature. He said the sun was mixed with plasma or something.
The sun is plasma.
But we know that comes from a book. Yeah, I just want you to kind of like go to reality for us, like no book stuff. Understand? Well, like you're saying that outside is a globe.
Okay, what do you want me to respond to? How we know what the sun's made of, or how we know the shape of the Earth? Which one?
Yeah, I want you to just give me one true fact that proves without a doubt that the Earth is round.
So if the Earth is round, I don't have beliefs. Let's make this clear. I don't have beliefs. I base my position on logic and evidence. Beliefs I think are irrelevant. But the best thing that I can tell you is that if the Earth is rotating and it's a sphere, then certain things should happen. For instance, a pendulum should drift different amounts, right? So if the Earth is a rotating sphere, then you can use a pendulum to calculate your latitude on Earth based on the drift of a swinging pendulum. And that is true.
But you still,
I have
before you get to the Earth being a rotating sphere, you still got to, no, what I'm saying, before you get to the Earth being a rotating sphere, you got to prove to me that it's a sphere first.
Yeah. So the fact that the different latitudes you have, the fact that the amount of drift will be different based on your latitude shows that the Earth is a sphere. The fact that if you're at the equator, a pendulum won't drift at all, but if you're at the North Pole, a pendulum will drift 360 degrees in 24 hours, shows that... let me respond, right? Not only shows that the Earth is rotating, but shows that the Earth has to be spherical because Coriolis forces are applied differently depending on the latitude of Earth. And this is something that I have personally tested myself. This is something that can only happen if the Earth is a rotating sphere.
Like, I'm going to ask you the question one more time because I don't think you heard me right. Can you give me, like, one factual thing that proves that the Earth is round?
Listen, I got to go to the next one. He gave you to you, but you just
the Foucault's pendulum experiment and the results of it show that the Earth is
just sound like a bunch of gibberish.
Yeah, you can tell them, man, I don't accept that crap, and we'll move on. I don't accept it, but my thing is this though. What I want Craig to do. Have you ever heard of Eric Dubé?
Yeah, he runs from me.
Well, he's not. He don't really do the debate thing. He more of a spiritual guy. He don't like the.
Well, he's been begging Neil deGrasse Tyson for a debate. In fact, I was the only person, the only Glober that he put in his movie. Yet he still won't debate me.
Well, listen. Do me a favor then, right? You brought up Foucault's pendulum. Well, you didn't bring up Foucault's pendulum, but you brought up the pendulum.
Yeah.
I think the best work for Foucault's pendulum on flat Earth is by Eric Dubé.
Eric Dubé doesn't understand the Foucault's pendulum.
I want to know, have you watched his video on it?
Yeah, it's in my list to debunk because it's not just wrong, it's wrong. Everything he says about the pendulum is full of complete ignorance of physics and what actually should happen, mixed with lies. Eric Dubé is nothing but a con man who couldn't even teach yoga about his business going bust.
Okay, this is. I think NASA are the real con men. Now, you said that you don't have a belief system.
No.
I want to know, how can we factually prove a diamond planet? To me, this is belief.
How can we factually prove a diamond planet?
That's so many light years away. How would you be able to prove it then?
Africa grow diamonds every day in Africa.
That's nothing to do with the shape of Earth and rotation of Earth.
I gotta get him off of here. Say what?
I mean, what they've possibly detected, billions of miles away, is nothing to do with the shape of the Earth and stuff right now.
No, that's what I'm saying is, see, my point is, don't this fall on a belief, yes or no?
No, I base my position
Why?
on evidence. If they give me evidence of something, I base my position on whatever the evidence shows. I don't have a belief. I don't say I believe that. I just say, well, that shows that could be true, so I'll base my position on that.
I understand. What evidence did they give you to make you say that diamond planets are true?
Spectroscopy.
Go on.
I mean, they haven't said that diamond planets are true. I think you're referring to the article where they potentially detected a planet with an atmosphere so dense that it would rain diamonds. But they didn't say, oh, we've detected a diamond planet. Here's an actual fact that we've detected a diamond planet.
I'll tell you what National Geographic said, that they found the diamond planet, and I can go on NASA's website and actually pull the planet up, man.
Go on then.
Okay.
Because
problem.
they haven't.
Let
No,
me
I got
ask
you.
him
I
a
got you.
question, bro.
No. He called my bluff, bro. I'm on NASA right now. And here's what they're saying, a visualization of not only, I forgot about that, the super Earths. I brought up diamond planets. It ain't just the diamond planets, the super Earths. NASA is saying that the next stop is diamond planets because they are the ones that talking about they discovered one, man. You should know this if you up on
again, they've said they've detected something that could possibly be this. They haven't said, here is 100% factually a planet made of diamonds. That's not what's happened.
So my question is, why? So are you telling me that all of these images are just mainstream media exaggerating, going overboard, and
there is no pictures of planets outside of our solar system. That's not a thing that exists.
I understand that. There is no pictures of planets inside our solar system.
Oh, there's definitely pictures of planets inside our solar system. My friend takes a bunch with his camera.
Yes, they are.
Hold on, everybody. Let me talk. Here are the images of the planets right here. And what I'm saying is these are no different than what I'm getting from the diamond planets, cartoons. I take images of the wandering stars. I got a telescope here too, and they look nothing like this crap that I see on the screen.
Can I show you a picture of that a friend of mine took with his telescope?
I don't really care about that at this time. It won't really.
Wait. You're saying that you've got a telescope and it shows one thing, but you won't let me show a picture that a friend of mine took with his own telescope?
Sure, man. Go right ahead. I prefer you take it.
I don't have that telescope, so I wouldn't be able to take it.
I got a telescope. Do you have a telescope?
I have a little one. I don't have a good one. No.
Okay, I got a pretty decent one, but yeah, you can put this screen share at any time.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. I need to find where I've put the picture. Oh yeah, it'd be in the assets here. So, pretty much anyone can get a decent a telescope and look at the planets. And I'm just opening up
I look
this
at them
file.
and they don't look nothing like what we see from these images on Google.
All right, here we go. So this is an image of Saturn. Let me just bring this up.
Let me go to his screen share. Yeah,
You don't need the screen share. I have this virtual camera, so just give me 1 sec. So this is an image of Saturn taken by someone called Michael Teo from his back garden with his own equipment.
And and my thing is, I can look at that and say, I don't believe it. Because when I look up that Saturn and my
Whether you
telescope,
believe it or not is irrelevant. That was a picture taken
this
by an
shit
actual
fake
person.
hold on.
It was taken with a telescope with a camera attached. There's nothing fake about it.
I got you. But you got to be honest. This is a matter of trust. I got to look at your image and say, well, I believe that he did that and that there's no editing and that it's indeed what you say. And I believe you and I trust you. And hey, there it is. But I don't want it to be a matter of belief. That's what I'm saying. But that's good.
So this is from.
That's good. That's interesting stuff. But I knew it'll turn into a matter of, do you believe the image or not? And
so this is from someone else I know called Astrozoology, and this is Saturn with actually 6 of its moons in the frame.
Why do you feel the need to keep cutting me off when I'm trying to make a point?
Oh, sorry, I thought you'd finished. You went on for a while.
I just started talking.
No, you didn't.
I was nice enough to let you show your picture and tell us about it, but you're not nice enough to let us respond to it.
Sorry, dude. I feel like I've been very, very patient and decent with time on the mic. I apologize if you feel like I've cut you off. I just wanted to point out that you're saying that these could be fake and stuff, but these are actually taken by amateur people from their back garden, and you could do it yourself.
A person can still say, I don't believe they was taken by amateur people. I believe it's edited. And I'm not saying they're saying that. I'm saying they can say that. And that's not the kind of debate I want to have where that can be a dance or a way out for somebody. Now, me and you would agree that would kind of be of a run. They would say, oh, well, you don't want to believe me? Fine. You're just not having good intellectual honesty here. I'm telling you that it was shot by a certain person. I really don't have a reason to lie, right? A person can say, well, I think you do got a reason to lie. Let's just try to prove this was something else that don't require my belief. And I think you good enough to do that. That's all. You could do it. So moving on, like what I'm about to show now is video footage of Venus. And guess what? I'm so honest that I'm going to say, if you want to question the footage, if you want to say the footage is fake, by all means do that, man. We're in 2022. All things are possible. But let's just look at this. Now, this is exactly what I see. But now I don't have what they're using on this is a very good
what are they using to take this? Yeah,
whatever this is, they got zooming in like that.
So this is I've seen this before. This is a P900.
Good equipment they got. My shit it ain't doing all that.
Dude, this is a P900.
What I like about this right here is what we're looking at now. This is Venus. Now I studied this, and you know what I came up with? Watch this.
Can I just ask what camera that was taken with?
I think that's with a Nikon. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's taken with a Nikon P900 and it's out of focus.
Can you please let me finish? I'm begging of you.
Hey, I thought we were having a conversation.
I didn't do. Listen, can you just? Is there? Why can't?
Dude, sorry, I thought we were having a conversation. Dude, I'm sorry, I thought we were having a conversation.
But this is not a conversation. This is a clusterfuck. Every time I'm in the middle of trying to speak, dude. Like
you literally weren't saying anything when I spoke. Come on, bud. I was just.
Brother, can I? I'm in the middle of screen sharing into a whole little spiel.
Yeah, I was just asking a question about the camera.
I'm saying you've been doing that a lot. At this point, it's very annoying. Like, it's very annoying that every
doing what? Trying to have a conversation. I'm confused.
This is not a conversation. A conversation as adults is one person speaking at a time.
Yeah, please stop muting me.
Interrupt and talk over each other. But you're acting like a disruptive child.
No, I'm not. I was responding to something you were saying.
I'm not being able to say anything. You're still talking. Everyone else.
Yeah. Okay. Well, can you carry on with what you were saying
Why
then?
can't you just stop talking and let me finish?
I'm waiting for you to do that. But if you stop talking, and I'm going to continue the conversation because this is what we're doing.
You're still talking right
now. Yeah. Okay.
now,
Just take a deep breath and carry on with what you're doing.
Can you please be quiet and let me finish?
Yes, I'm waiting for you to carry on.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous.
I'm just waiting for you to carry on.
That's why I say I'm not done talking when I pause. Let me take a breath. I'm going to tell you when I'm done from now on so we don't have that confusion anymore. That's ridiculous.
Okay, well, can you do me the same and not interrupt me when I'm talking? Is that all right?
I've been doing you the same.
No, you haven't.
Every time I give you the floor, I let you talk.
And then you interrupt me, yeah.
Okay. All right, man. All right. Whatever you say. And you just now want to let me now at 2 hours in know that I've been interrupting you.
Yeah, because I've not been making an issue. Can you just carry on with your point? I'm waiting for you.
You're interrupting me right now.
I'm waiting for you to finish.
Right now. You can wait with your mouth closed. You can wait with your mouth closed. And I don't need nobody else interrupting.
Okay.
Ain't no fucking body throwing. I just not being able to speak. I don't know how y'all.
I'm literally waiting for you to finish what you're saying.
But I'm saying, do me a favor, Craig. Can you wait on mute? That's how I run my show. I don't go on mute. No. All right, I need you to wait on mute. That way, if I say something that may be funny, that may be, and you can laugh, but they won't hear it. You can do what you want. I like professional shows, man. So if you don't want to go on mute, I ask that you remain silent till a person say, hey, I'm finished. Easy. Now, I'm going to carry on. What we're looking at is video footage of Venus. And me looking at this, I've come to the conclusion that the ancient people who gave us flat Earth were correct about the stars, that they were holographic luminaries. What we're witnessing in this video, if you ask me, is holographic distortion. And if you don't know what holographic distortion look like, take a look at this video image. And this right here is the best example I can give you of holographic distortion. It's a hologram being briefly distorted. And that's what we see here in this image of Venus. Also, you can see it sort of fading in and out, kind of like how the moon have phases like eclipses. And we know that during a nighttime sky, we can see the black sky through the moon. And during the daytime sky, we can see the blue sky through it, which makes me think that the moon is translucent. It's holographic. It's nothing that you can really land on, right? And I just want to say to my audience, I apologize for the disruptions earlier. That's why I tell y'all when I do these, let everyone speak before you interrupt, even if you're agreeing or no matter what you're doing, because it's just not good for conversation and radio etiquette, professionalism. Like just to conclude here, because this argument I'm making is neither here nor there. This don't prove that the ground I'm walking on is flat or round. This is just speculating about the stars at this point. And that's all I was trying to point out when we got on a conversation about these planets. What I was saying was what we see here with these planets is different than what we're recording in videos. This don't look solid. This look holographic, so much so that we can see holographic distortion. Now I'm gonna yield the mic. That's it. See, that wasn't hard.
Okay, so that's an out of focus P900. That's wonderful. Try getting it through a telescope, and then we can talk.
Yeah, but it's a picture of reality. That's what my question to you. A lot of pictures you pulled up were like CGI.
I didn't show CGI.
Yeah, but
I showed reality.
Yeah, those images you had of the rocket were CGI, bro. The images you had of the comets were CGI.
I wasn't showing that was Brother Sanchez showing.
Yeah, see that picture? You see that picture you got right there? That's not reality.
No, that is this is taken through a telescope.
No, it's not.
No, it is.
No, it's not.
No, it is. This is taken through a telescope by Michael Teo.
can you show us a live? Can you show us a live video of it like this, like Sanchez put up? Then we might believe something like that.
So
But until you can do that,
hold on. I want to hear did he just what you say this was shot with?
Well, the one you're looking at was either a P900 or a P1000.
No, it wasn't.
What was it?
It was neither one of them. So when I tell you what it is, you're gonna. I'm finna tell you, but I just want to put on the record. When I tell you what it is, we know you're gonna talk shit about it. You want to know what it is, so you can say, "Oh, that camera, this or that." Here's what it is, right here.
Yeah, is it a telescope or is it a camera?
Here is something that allow you to zoom in and see. Guess what? I'm gonna tell you something right now. There are phones today that's damn near better than some of the telescopes I bought back when I was a child. So zooming capabilities.
So basically, it's something that is not made for the job that it's doing, right?
Don't let him run for what I was saying.
No, let me answer his question. He asked the question. Let me answer him. I'm gonna mute everybody. You can unmute Craig. I just gotta make sure the panel mute. I don't want no interruptions. So what I like to do, guys, I like to question the footage that's presented versus the technology that is shot with. Because if someone used this camera to record Venus, right, and seeing what we seeing, somebody got to explain to me where this camera failed to show me the true image. Is my eyes lying to me because I used this camera? Can I not speculate this video footage?
You can speculate all you want. Yeah.
Hold on. Not speculate, but listen. Can I not use this footage as scientific research and take it reasonable because it was shot with this camera? Is that what you're saying?
It's not the correct tool for the job. So if you want to use an incorrect tool for the job, then that's fine.
Okay. So listen, Galileo used a glass like what we would use to make a Coca-Cola bottle with for a lens. He didn't use the right tools for the job.
He used the available tool at the time. That was literally a telescope, which is the right tool.
So listen. So it'll be like me spotting Sasquatch in the jungle. If I pull out my doggone phone to take the image with it, or if I pull out, let's just say somebody get an old school camera that you gotta wind up to take the image of Sasquatch. We may say, well, that's not really the appropriate camera. They use that for portraits. So should we say, well,
yeah, that's irrelevant to what you're looking at in space, dude.
You continue to interrupt me, but I'm gonna allow it. Go ahead. You're gonna be disruptive, but go ahead.
I'm not being disruptive. I mean, I feel like I get very little time to actually talk. So yeah. If you want to use the wrong tool for the job, then you're going to get blurry nonsense, right? What I'm showing right now on my screen is Saturn, a video of Saturn through a telescope. And he showed you the telescope. It's this massive one here, right? And this is the video that he got through it.
They look the same. They look alike.
Okay. No, that's an image. That's not a video.
That's literally a video. How can you not see the video playing?
Hold on.
That's the image, right? Cleared up, and that's the video. Hey, bro, I'm still talking. I thought I was allowed to finish talking. Wait, bro, Sanchez, I thought I was allowed to finish talking about being interrupted.
That's not science. Don't work that way.
Wait, I thought I was allowed to finish talking about being interrupted.
No, hold on.
Wait, you asked for that. I asked for the same courtesy, please.
Sir, what I'm saying is I put up some footage on the screen.
Yeah, but I was still talking and everyone's interrupted me, which you've said isn't allowed.
I got you. I got you.
So I'm going to finish what I'm saying, if that's all right. Okay. This is a video. This is a video of Saturn through a telescope. A video, not a picture. As you can see, it's moving because he's having to hold it steady. And then this is the picture cleared up with 6 of the moons. Maybe 7 with the one at the top there.
I've never seen them zoom in or zoom out, bro. You can't just.
Why would you? Who cares if you didn't see him zoom in or zoom out? Who cares if you didn't see him zoom in or zoom out? That doesn't matter.
Because you can't see it like that, bro.
That's literally what you pay your money for. The zooming capability.
Why? Yeah, this is it zoomed in. This is.
No,
well, actually, okay. Here we go. Right, guys, bro Sanchez. You said that I'd be able to talk about being interrupted, but that's not happening,
bro. That's a video. That's a video edited.
So can I talk about being interrupted?
He interrupted me, but I'm not gonna let you.
Well, no, you interrupted me actually. But so yeah, this is a video of the guy taking it with his telescope, right? The Newtonian focal length 1,200 millimeters, and then the camera attached to it, a Canon 60D, right? And that's it, zoomed out slightly, right? And then he goes to it being zoomed in,
I can't
right?
really see what you.
And then there you go, that's it zoomed in, right?
Bro, I do videos.
I'm still talking. I'm still talking. I'm still talking.
I can't.
No, I'm still talking. Okay. Right. So there it is. There's the video of Saturn that you asked for. All right. It's a video. It's there. And then this. I was literally asked for a video of Saturn. I was literally asked for a video of Saturn.
No. I said, could you show a video of somebody zooming in like Sanchez showed? You just showed a video that's compiled out of different images. And man, I do videos, so I could tell that was an edit video. What Sanchez showed was somebody naturally going outside, zooming in on a star or a planet, whatever they claim it is. He zoomed in on it.
Yeah.
Well, we call them wandering stars, but he zoomed in on it. He just didn't come in. Yeah, but your image, your video didn't do that, bro.
Yeah. So what if it doesn't do it? It doesn't matter if he zoomed in or not. The fact is that it really doesn't. No, it really doesn't. No, hold on. Stop, bro.
If it doesn't, then what are we examining? Because we're going outside looking at nature.
Am I allowed to talk, or am I just going to be interrupted?
Looking at nature, though.
Am I going to?
Bro, you've been talking 20 minutes.
It's all right. No, it's all right. Apparently, the rules only apply to you guys and not me. That's fantastic.
You can't listen. You gotta let folks respond to you, Craig. You just
can't just like you have to let me respond, right? But I haven't finished my point.
I'm letting you respond.
Right. My point is, it does not matter if you watch it zooming in or not. In fact, that's not really something you can do with a telescope.
Yeah, but I'm asking.
No, again, I was in the middle of talking whilst I was interrupted. I was in the middle of talking and I got interrupted. So again, it doesn't matter, and I don't care if you don't believe it. You can get a telescope and do it yourself and get this recording. All right, this is a video.
It's not to be believed.
No, once again, bro. Do you want to mute him when I'm talking, or?
What makes your video more credible than Brother Sanchez?
I'm really tired of you talking because you ain't really saying.
Because mine's taken with a camera. Mine's taken with a telescope and not a camera that is not the suitable tool for the job.
His look better than yours, though. His video look better than yours.
No, his video is out of focus nonsense.
You need to be quiet so this guy can finish and sum it up.
So this is what we're gonna do, man. No one unmute without my permission. Doing it from here on out or get you booted. I don't care who get mad at what the fuck I'm saying either. You know why? You guys are over here every day. This is not about y'all in this show. I got this man over here asking questions, and it's cool. We can debate. We can get the smoke going, but ain't nobody gonna say, God damn it, keep on begging about being interrupted. I don't like to be interrupted. So let him finish. I was mad at him for interrupting me. I may have interrupted him a few times, but let's nip that in the bud, man. Come on. Let's get some order here. Let's do it.
Okay, so the video that Bro Sanchez is showing is with an incorrect tool and is out of focus. The video I am showing is with a correct tool and is in focus. So that makes my video empirically better than his.
Okay, so let me just say this. He didn't even know what camera my video was shot with till I told him. So how can he make all these claims about my sources when I haven't made none about his? This shows you childish behavior.
No, the fact is.
You're cutting me off.
Sorry, I thought you'd finished. I thought you'd finished.
You cutting me off. Nope. Do unto others as they did unto you. Nope. Now,
I apologize. I thought you'd finished.
You are cutting. And you always thought I finished.
Yeah, because you
Everybody
talk a
else
lot.
know I'm talking, but you think I'm finished.
Yeah,
Let me ask you a question.
Well, no, let's stick to this first before we move on to other questions because I want to respond to that.
Okay, sure. So what I'll say about this is that it's just going to turn into a matter of my picture's better than yours because mine was shot with this and this and that and yours with this. And you know what? I'm not going to play that game. I can look at your image and I can show you several images around the world of different stars. Like, for example, let me go to this one here.
Wait,
Check
can we
this
stick?
out.
Can we stick with this first because I didn't get to respond to the thing you've said and you've changed
I'm
topic.
sticking with it. I'm sticking
No,
with
no,
it.
no,
I'm
no.
making
On that
my
one,
point
back
here.
on that one video because I want to respond to something you said about that video before we move on to something else.
Go ahead.
Right.
Go
So
ahead,
you
go
said,
ahead.
how can I make all these claims about your sources? My only claim is that you're using a camera and not a telescope. It doesn't matter what camera it is. It's a camera, not a telescope, and that is not the appropriate tool for looking at things in the sky like this. It's the wrong tool for the job. It's as simple as that.
Hold on. I'm going to show you why that's a flawed statement. Because in order for your friend, just like I know, to take pictures with a telescope, you got to buy the telescope with the camera in it. So guess what I'm saying right now? No matter, you're looking for a reason to not be able to deal with this data. You're doing something non-scientific, which is telling a student, hey, since you didn't shoot a picture of Venus with a telescope, we're not going to even consider your image. There's nothing we can even discuss about your image, and everybody know that ain't even scientific. That's a person running from it. If a person take an image of a dude robbing my house with a blurred camera and a wrong tool, I'm still going to consider it as evidence and data that can be taken and used and argued and debated. You're using a way to just not have to be able to deal with it. And I really don't like that way of running. Now, let me just conclude with this right here. The telescopes are able to take pictures like the one you got because they got cameras in them. The telescopes that can take the pictures cost more money. You know why? Because they got the built-in camera. So guess what, people? You still got to use a camera to take the picture. So what difference if a person that says, listen, I can't afford a telescope at the moment, I'm going to zoom in on a star and just show everybody what I seen, and then we can critique what I saw. I'm saying, even if you saying something is wrong with the image, tell us what's wrong with it other than it's shot with a camera and that's the wrong tool for the job.
Yeah.
A child may say, okay, I'm going to conclude. Someone may ask the question, why does it look like this? What is the difference? What would a telescope do that would prevent the picture looking like holographic distortion?
Finished?
I'm finished.
Okay, so it's out of focus. It doesn't have the right lens to do what you're asking it to do. Yes, a telescope that has a camera attached to it still has a camera, but it has a telescope. You cannot use something that is the wrong tool to look at something and then make an analysis out of that thing with the wrong tool. That's not how science works. Science doesn't use the wrong tool for the job. So if you're talking about scientific, then you are completely ignoring science here because you're not removing the variables, right? You're not removing the fact that this is going to be out of focus and it's the wrong tool. You have to have something that's actually designed for the job you want to do. And whenever you look at Venus, whenever you look at Venus through a telescope, it looks like a planet. Whenever you look at Venus through an out of focus camera, it looks like this, right? This is an out of focus camera that you are showing us that is the wrong tool for the job, right? It's the wrong tool for the job. Wait, I haven't finished. But you're interrupting me though.
Listen, can an out of focus camera make something?
So it's all right for you to interrupt me. That's cool.
I don't mind interrupting you to have the. I need you to teach me something. I'm thirsty as a student.
Just so I know that you're allowed to interrupt me, but I'm not allowed to interrupt. As long as I'm aware of that, that's fine.
Bro, you've been interrupting. I got one question. Can an out of focus camera make something solid appear holographic and see?
Clearly, yes, it can.
Wow, I need to buy an out of focus camera so I can see through people's walls. Everybody, go ahead. I'm done.
You can't see through the. You can't see through it.
Question right quick. Hey, it's just a question. All right, look. Matter of fact, it ain't a question. I'm just gonna debunk your whole shit right quick.
I guarantee you are not.
All right, cool. All right, man, cool. Listen. All right, now they got the picture of the globe, right? They went out of space in 1960, right? 1969. They get a picture of the globe. Hold on, listen, bro. They get the first picture of the globe in 1946, right? October 24th. That's a mystery. But here go the kicker. If the first picture was in 1946, why is Universal's logo a globe in 1920? If that's not predicting programming, what would you call it?
So we don't need a picture of the globe to know the Earth's a globe. We've got cartography and other ways of figuring out. In fact, we've known that it's a globe for several thousand. Right, we've known it's a globe.
Bro, no,
I'm answering your question. Bro. You asked me a question. Let me answer the question. All right. We've known it's a globe. I'm trying to answer the question, but you keep interrupting me. Your question was, how did Universal...
You rude as hell, dude.
Wait, listen, you asked me a question.
Let him answer, drop. Let him answer, drop. Let him answer.
I'm literally trying to answer your question, dude.
I swear I'm a mute, bro. Here go the question, and I'm a mute up. How did Universal know the Earth was a globe, and how was it the same picture as the globe today in 1920?
Okay. I literally just explained it. We've known the Earth was a globe for thousands of years. We've had cartography where we can map out the coastlines. We've actually had globes, physical globes, for 1,000 years. The oldest one that we can actually see is in a museum that's a few hundred years ago. But we've known the Earth was a globe and where the countries are before we had pictures, because cartography is a thing.
Okay, so listen.
I got a question.
Hey, go ahead, citizen, man.
I got a question for Brother Craig, Fight the Flat Earth, right? It's a very interesting name, and I was just curious to know, what is the need to, quote unquote, fight the flat Earth? Because if flat Earth is nonsense, right, and it's just a bunch of malarkey, and we all know the Earth is round, like so many people claim, then what is the need for people who believe in the globe to even debate with flat earthers about flat Earth if it's so stupid?
They finna make us a boogeyman now, y'all. Wait on it. We finna be some big monsters now with a lot of power. Watch this.
You don't care about the facts?
Watch this. No, let him answer.
Can I answer? Right. So
go for it, brother.
It's a fact that flat earthers harass children.
Wow. Globalists do too. Christians do too. Muslims do too. Humans harass children.
Am I allowed to respond without being interrupted, or are you just going to interrupt?
You're not allowed to say biased, racist, hate.
I'm not saying anything biased or racist, but Nathan Thompson stood outside of a school shouting at the children whilst the teachers tried to get them away.
Instead of
wait, I was asked the question. I would like the ability to respond without being interrupted.
He's trying to make Nathan Thompson all of us, though, bro. That's him.
Let me finish what I'm saying. I haven't. I've said one thing and you've jumped on me. You haven't let me finish the entire thing that I'm saying. I've said one thing and you've jumped on me. All right. You have your rules for you, but you refuse to let them be for other people. All right. So you have people like Nathan Thompson stand outside schools and scream at children whilst they're being dragged away. You have people like Sleeping Warrior who go on TikTok and pretend to be a child so that they can groom other children to join Flat Earth. You have people like Eric Dubay, who is a con man who lies about everything to try and indoctrinate people into a cult. To believe that the Earth is flat, right? And this is why I fight it. To believe that the Earth is flat, you have to believe that everyone is lying to you. Every scientist, every teacher, every boat captain, every pilot that consistently gets to their destination, they're all lying to you, right? I'm still talking. I'm still talking. I know I haven't finished. I'm still talking. I haven't finished.
I got a response for him. I'll respond.
I haven't finished. How can I have a response when I haven't finished?
No, Craig. I was saying I was
right. Okay, so I'll finish what I'm saying and then you can respond. Okay, all right?
Sure, absolutely.
Right. Flat Earthers push this onto children. I've literally seen parents homeschooling their children to Flat Earth, and to push that mentality of every single person in the world is lying to you onto children is a dangerous, damaging thing to do. Flat Earth is nothing but ignorance of physics and science and reality, and to fight it is an opportunity for me to teach people real physics and real science. That's why I fight the Flat Earth.
All right, citizen man, let me say something real quick. Citizen man, please let me say something, and then you got it. Here's what I'm gonna say. His answer still is crazy, because think about this, right? Flat Earth is ancient cosmology. It's teaching people how ancestors saw the world. You can say, well, the ancestors was wrong. They didn't have the technology we saw. Well, then I'm giving you a history class. We know the ancestors weren't right about everything. We're not right about everything. And us learning that how they saw the world, whether it was wrong or right, is a history class into ancient, antique cosmology. You have modern cosmology, you have antique. I think it's wrong of him to group flat earthers in a box the way he doing. That's very evil, because flat earthers don't do that to globalists. I can say, man, look at Jeffrey Dahmer. He was eating people and he was a globe earther. You globe earthers are cannibals. You know what I'm saying? But to go around and say that they making children join flat earth ain't nothing you join. It ain't nothing I can kick you out of. It's not like the church or nothing like that. You don't join it. You either learn about flat earth or you don't. That's like I learned about the globe earth. I learned about the flat earth. And believe it or not, it's other cosmologies out there. You got hollow earth. There are so many conceptions of our universe, and learning about either one of them ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this right here. I think that if people got this much hate toward flat earth talking about children, they should equally attack pedophilia in Judaism, because they do oral circumcisions to children in the Bismarck.
Yeah, and I've never said I agree with that. You know, I do call out religion. I do call it out all the time.
And listen, I just want to point out that even though you interrupted me, I don't mind it. This is a tense discussion. Go ahead. You can interject. Go ahead. Interject.
Yeah. So the reason I said that what I did is because it's my personal experience with flat earthers. I've had flat earthers threaten to kill me. I've had flat earthers come to my home.
I had globalists do the same to me though. So we're in the same boat.
This is just my personal experience of flat earthers. But flat earth in general is something that is dangerous to a young mind. Very dangerous to a young mind.
Brother Craig, hold on, Brother Sanchez. Let me go ahead and offer my response, and then I'll mute up and let you guys get back to it. Brother Craig, I do appreciate your perspective. I don't agree with it, and I feel like your response to my question was simply a demonization of an ideology that you don't agree with. Like, you say it's dangerous, but how is it dangerous if you're teaching somebody a different perspective? I mean, there's teachers in school that teach children that men can have babies, and that, you know, transgenderism, men can become women and stuff. And that, my friend, I would say is dangerous. You know, and if you really want to fight something, I would say our efforts would be more worthwhile fighting that rather than fighting something that people just believe in their hearts and their minds.
Yeah.
And the fact that you pointed out,
not a biology degree.
Hang on, brother. Hang on a second, my brother. And the fact that you pointed out a few people who you deem to be bad actors in the flat earth community, I'm sorry that you had that experience, and I don't feel like it's fair to categorize all flat earthers as that just because you had these bad experiences with whoever you claim you had these bad experiences with. But the whole fight the flat earth thing, I think it's like, because here's why I'm looking at it as, right? I see it as an attempt to stifle an opposing opinion, because you say, it goes against science, it goes against physics, blah blah blah. But the pandemic in 2020 kind of showed us that we really can't trust these mainstream scientists. I mean, they were the same ones running around saying put diapers on kids' faces to stop a virus. You know what I'm saying? So, to have a healthy distrust of mainstream science, I think it's not a bad thing. And to discourage people from distrusting mainstream science, I think that is dangerous, because the people who trusted mainstream science, they went and got themselves shot up with all types of shit. They don't know what they got shot up with. So starting with the flat earth and questioning the mainstream scientists, I think it's actually a healthy train of thought. And I think your ideology in terms of, your view on flat earthers, I should say, is a bit flawed and a bit biased. And I think it's, what's the word? I think it's a little fucked up.
Okay, so here's why I disagree, right? It is because, like I said, to believe the Earth is flat, you have to believe that every single person in the world is lying to you.
No, and listen,
and
you gotta let me get to the. Hold on.
But what if they are?
Hold on.
But they're not. I verified it myself.
Wait, guys, please listen.
Hey, Brother Sanchez, me and this guy are in the middle of a conversation.
But listen, I'm telling you that this is not going the right way because listen, I'm a flat earther who believe the earth is flat, or I think I know the earth is flat, but I don't think everybody lying to me. I don't think everything in science is lying to me.
Well, they have to be. If the earth is flat, they have to be lying to you.
But if you allow me to explain how I can be the phenomena, that'll be the link here, the missing link. Because I don't believe everything is just everybody about everything is lying to me. That's just like I'm not a Christian. I don't believe in the Bible, but I don't believe everything in the Bible is lying to me. You should honor your parents. You shouldn't kill. You should. That's what I'm saying. There's some things that I would agree with, and it's some things I don't.
Okay.
Well, I just want to say this. I appreciate your response, Craig.
I'm after Citizen Man. I am after Citizen Man. I've been waiting this whole time since the beginning.
Okay, brother, I'll pass you the mic.
Just so we know, I've got enough time for one more.
Mean anything?
Yeah, just so we know, guys, I've got enough time for. Sorry, I apologize.
No, I was just gonna say, man, I appreciate your perspective, but I think you should let go of some of the bias you have against flat earthers. Is all I'm saying. Don't judge us. Don't put us all in the same bag as a few bad actors. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Just so we know, I've got enough time for one more question before I need to get off and set up for my next stream.
That would be me. No, that would be me, Mr. Craig. Okay, and before you go to your next stream and all that, I just want your time for a little bit, and let's talk about this. So, in regards to the 2017 eclipse, do you know how solar eclipses work? You know, you're a globalist.
Globalist isn't a thing. I'm just a normal person, but yeah. What about it?
Okay. So for the 2017 eclipse, all right, it's 2:45 p.m. I'm in the last stop in the path of totality in South Carolina to see a full eclipse happen for the 2017 eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
That 2017 eclipse happened at 2:45 p.m.
Okay.
To you, how does the sun and moon work at 2:45 p.m. in everybody's daily life, coming from a globalist perspective?
Sorry, how does the moon work at 2:45 p.m.? What do you mean?
Exactly. Okay, so what was the object that passed in front of the sun at 2:45 p.m.? Because from a globalist perspective, as we all see it, flat earthers, globe earthers, from the way that the model works, you would say that is the moon, but the moon came in the nighttime. So what is the object that passed in front of the sun?
What do you mean the moon came in the nighttime? The moon was there in the day. That's why you had an eclipse.
Oh, well, so the moon wasn't on the other side of the globe.
You know the moon orbits the globe, right?
So, yes, okay, but guess what? So, are you saying that physically that the moon speeds up and does an eclipse real quick and then speeds around to the other side of the globe Earth?
Why would it speed up?
Because it's 2:45 p.m., dude. It's the fucking afternoon. Get real. So where is
I don't understand your point. Are you saying you can't have the moon in the day?
That is what I'm telling you.
No, he was saying it was at the same time.
Hey, bro, I love you. I love you, but I got this. I love you. I got this.
No, I'm just you ain't explaining it right because he ain't getting what you're saying.
I'm gonna go to the hands next. Let him do his thing.
Can I get in?
Okay, so Mr. Craig. Okay, so at 2:45 p.m., what time is it right now for you? Is it the afternoon?
It's midnight.
It's midnight. Where's the moon for you?
Right now the moon is a crescent, probably due north from me.
Okay, so it's probably present in your nighttime sky, right?
Yeah, it's not all the time, but I think it is right now.
Okay, so it's not all the time, only when you want to say so.
No, only when you can actually see it, because there's phases of the moon.
Everybody, let Craig respond to me. Okay, so it's 2:45 p.m. and I see a total lunar eclipse, and I didn't see a whole moon come across my freaking sky, pass in front of the sun, and then leave, and then go to the other side of the world for your nighttime sky.
Yeah, the moon isn't always in the sky at night. You realize that? Sometimes the moon is on the other side of the planet at nighttime, so you don't see it.
So does the moon speed up only for eclipses?
No,
or
the moon orbits the Earth once every 28 days.
Does the moon do the same thing that it does every night?
Yeah, the moon orbits the Earth, every 28 days.
Exactly. So what was the object that passed in front of the sun? If you're saying
The
that
moon.
it is the moon, then hold on. If you're saying that it was the moon, then where was the moon for the people at nighttime?
They probably didn't have it at that point because the moon isn't always in the sky.
Damn.
No, the moon is always present in the sky. You just
No, the moon is not always present in the sky.
Where is it when it's not present?
The other side of the Earth.
Exactly. That's what I wanted you to say. It's on the other side of the Earth. So in my, okay, all right, stop, Mr. Craig. It's 2:45 p.m. I am witnessing a lunar eclipse, which NASA says you should wear shades and not look at it directly. But I did at the same time. Why ain't I blind? And I'm still talking to you not blind today. Other than that, it's 2:45. It's the fucking afternoon. It's the beginning of the afternoon. So are you telling me, stop, Mr. Craig, are you telling me that the moon was going to speed up from the other side of the world, changing its fucking orbit through the whole goddamn thing, like everything's not in a natural order, to speed up and progress past the sun just for me to see this total solar?
Dude, the moon isn't always in the sky at night. Every night the moon is not there. Sometimes it's the other side.
Okay, so let's move on. I gotta go to the next person.
Maybe if I just play this quick animation that can maybe help my friend here understand.
Move on, next person. I gotta select the next person.
Wait,
I already spoke. You gotta wait. I gotta be fair, man.
Well, I haven't finished responding to this person. I said one more question, then I have to go.
You got so you can finish.
This is the last person that I can talk to. So,
cool. So after he say that, guys, let me close him out. Y'all stand by. Go ahead.
So as this animation shows, as the moon orbits the Earth, you get the point where it's in front. So at this point, right, when there's well, I'll get to when it's actually an eclipse. So at this point, when it's an eclipse, all right, the people at nighttime don't have a moon at this point. There isn't two moons in the sky. When there is when there is an eclipse for you on this side, the people at night aren't also seeing the moon. That's how it works.
Keep that description right there. Okay, so what you're insinuating is that as the orbit of the moon goes around the globe Earth, what you're insinuating that what I saw was the moon speeding up to do the total solar eclipse just for me and my eyes to see, and nobody on the other side of the planet. Because it happened at 2:45 p.m. and I did not see a whole fucking moon. No, stop. Let me finish. I did not see a whole fucking moon go across my sky to cross the sun and then cross it again and then go to the other side.
Are you sure? Because everybody else did.
No, hold up. Let me finish. For everybody else to have their nighttime. And to me, physically, by physics standards and everything, and this example that you have up, it's impossible.
But again, the moon isn't at nighttime. You don't need the moon for night. The moon isn't there at nighttime all of the time. And to say you didn't see the moon move in front of the sun means that you saw something different from everybody else that did see that happen.
And I'm going to explain to you what he's saying, and I know you got to go, but I'll just share with you what he's saying here. See, what he's saying is during an eclipse, we never see the moon creep into the view.
But we do.
Like the moon.
That's literally what we see.
In from the sky, like, just say we all standing outside, we looking at the sun, we waiting on an eclipse. We're not looking to the left or the right. We're looking directly at the sun, waiting on something to just start swallowing up the sun from right at the point of origin being the sun.
But when you're looking at it with the light, you can see the moon moving across it.
To go in front of the sun, it starts at the sun.
It doesn't start at the sun. You can literally see it. You can see the entire moon.
All the 2017 footage that you'll find, all you're going to see is a dark object go across the sun.
I guarantee you're wrong.
You will never see a moon go across the sun eclipse
Dark
itself.
object is the moon.
He do get what we saying though, right? You never see the moon like
But you
everybody
do.
say, here come the moon, y'all. There, go where the moon at over there. It's about to get close to the sun. That don't happen. We just automatically looking at the sun, waiting on something to swallow it up right at the source. The Vedics had a different way of explaining it.
I guess
They
you've
called
not
it
watched the
Rahu
Solar
and Ketu.
Eclipse.
Check
I don't
out
know.
your MasterCard logo and shit. It'll go into how the heavens work. So this is kind of well, I ain't gonna go all deep into flat Earth because FTFE got to get out of here. Oh, he probably but let me just say this before you go fight the flat Earth. Let me ask you the final questions about how everything went. Would you come back again and do it again? Did you have fun?
Yeah, I'd like to be able to ask questions next time.
Craig, you still there?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I'd love to be able to ask questions next time. That would be good.
So but I'm saying though, do you think this is a setting like what we did tonight?
Yeah, I'm happy to do it like this. But I'd like to be able to bring some of my evidence and discuss that next time.
We got to make it fair so you get to do the thing, and you can have your people too to join like that too. Now, do you think the questions that you were presented today were pretty good questions, a pretty good spar and all that?
Some of them, yeah. It's certainly going to make for good clips, that's for sure. But let me just say thank you for allowing me on to talk in this manner. I know it got a bit heated, but these discussions always do. That's just the way it goes. But I am going to have to jump off now to get ready for my next stream. And I want to say thank you to you, Bro Sanchez, and thank you to your panel. I'm going to post some videos of the moon going across the sun on my Facebook so everyone can see that actually does happen. But I'm going to take my leave now, and I want to say thank you very much, guys.
Okay, appreciate it.
Speak to you later. Ooh, wow. All the derp hurts my brain a little bit. Right, supposed to be starting my next stream in 5 minutes, but I'm going to put it back by 15 minutes so that we can, I can have just a couple of minutes to chill before the next bit. Glober Mum, you should have a lot of work to do with that one. Oh my god. Wow. Anyway, I'm going to go now, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Oh shit, no, Super Chats first, because you guys are amazing. Arnie Rovic for 200 Nokias says, a double on me then. He was talking about tequila. Thank you very much. I may have a shot of tequila before my debate. Stefan Peterson, member for 2 months, says, happy days. Monday, Tuesday, happy days. Tim Tully, $5 says, can't stick around, we'll watch later. Be well. Thank you, Tim. Much appreciated. Rennie Wenner, who is a new member. Welcome to Scrappers. Thank you very much. Lord Illuminous Pooh for $5 says, scientists have shown cigarettes can harm children. Fine. I'll use an ashtray instead. NA for $6.66 says, why can't Flerfs understand that most people don't care about space missions? That is why we haven't gone back. Money, money, money is the reason. Pancake of Destiny, €2. I have 33 reasons to say that Flerfs are idiots. I've got 71 episodes. Pancake of Destiny, €2 says, thank you for this burp and fart debate. Astronauts can't burp in space, it's a fact. NA for $6.66 says, can we get a poop in space emoji? I've got an update by emojis, so maybe. Vincent Florquin, €1.99. Astronaut food is designed to prevent gases, etc. It is, but unfortunately some gases are unavoidable. Pancake of Destiny also became a member. Welcome to Scrappers, thank you very much. Room 237 for $5 says, FTFE, he seems to think the zodiac is situated around Earth's North Pole instead of radially outward from the sun. That's why he's confused. That's why I got him to turn the thing around to try and explain it. And did you see the moment? It snapped in his head. Oh, I'm going to have to check that out. Yeah, because I broke you. Donald Trump's Bone Spurs, member for 31 months, says, fuck YouTube. Weebo Metalhead, $5 says, at least this isn't Trey Hutchison bad. I looked at his TikTok and the screams of my dying brain cells will haunt me forever. Yeah, Trey needs another spanking, I think. Heat Shield, $2. Decent questions followed by denial, reset, derp. Mr. QTube, first name Fa, for $2. A Flerf wants FTFE to get back to reality. Shake my head. Fireheart60, Airsoft and More. Member for 26 months says, love your work, keep it up. No, I love you, thank you. Abilis LA for $5 says, why does Flerf think he controls this debate? Grow up, Sanchez. To be fair, it was an interview he was supposed to be giving me, but that did require me being able to respond, which I didn't really get much chance to do. Indie Tigers Sci-Fi Review, $5 says, always remember, a rhino is just a double-stuffed unicorn. Albeus UA for $5 says, Sanchez, your pick of Venus is out of focus. Absolutely. Lord of the Pooh for $2 says, but your camera don't have no telescope on it. Yeah, get a fucking telescope. Mr. QTube, first name Fa for $5. This guy not only needs to learn science, he needs to learn English grammar. Weebo Metalhead, $5. Yes, men can have babies. It's called being a father. Duh. Not what I think he meant, but hey. Wayne Carr, member for 11 months, says, the derp is all double facepalm worthy. Yeah, it really was. Rachbot, hello, you amazing person. $5 Australian. As if Sanchez has never seen the moon during the day. I call BS. Thank you very much for the super chats, guys. Always remember, my channel will never be behind a paywall. I do appreciate all the help that I get. It really, really does allow me to keep doing this. I'll be back real soon. Give me 15 minutes to get set up and we'll have a debate with a dumbass. Remember, stupidity's not a right. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat.